Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 5 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 5-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
on the Hawkeye Sports Network. From Learfield, Hawkeye Baseball is on the air. Hawkeye Baseball is brought to you by Homewood and Home 2 Suites, preferred hotel of the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Oak Knoll, an active life care community by University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. Now live, this is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball.
From the campus of the University of Iowa, it's baseball time in Iowa City. Live from Banks Field, it's the Grandview University Vikings and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Welcome to the broadcast booth alongside my fine color analyst, John Evans. I'm John Leo. Well, it feels great to find our home footing for a few games in a row now. The Hawkeyes are off to their best start since 1939, boasting a 15-3 record coming into today's game. Still some things to clean up before conference play starts in a couple of weeks. Today's opponent, the Grandview Vikings. They've got an impressive resume themselves to this point, a 13-3 record and a team batting average of .332. They've got 17 home runs. This team can swing it, and they bring their bats to Iowa City today. It's a warmer day in Iowa City, albeit not by much, with cloudy skies looming over Duane Banks today. It's Grandview and Iowa, the Vikings and the Hawkeyes, live from Duane Banks in Iowa City. First pitch coming up in just a few minutes. Well, the Hawkeyes swept South Dakota State over the weekend in a gritty and tough series. A few highlights from those games against the Jackrabbits. Rader can find some of that grass in the outfield. He lines this into right center. That's down. It's going to get to the wall. DeRiggi round second, headed for third. Coach Heller's going to wave him. Here comes Brennan around third. Throws cut off, but he'll score, and it'll be an RBI double. Rader Tello. It's Tello time right there, and we're tied at 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch to Huckstorf. Line drive into the left center gap. It is down for a base hit. Moss will score. Seegers is at third. They're going to send him. Here he comes. Nobody's there to cut it off. And it's a 2 RBI double for Huckstorf. And the Hawks have the lead. Ha-ho! Llewellyn's got the sign that he likes from Moss. The 1-2. Feels it, deals it. Got him! Yes! Swing and a miss. Down he goes. And that's a Hawkeye winner in the snow in Missouri. You bet. Hawks win 5-4. Outside, gets away from the catcher. Here comes Anthony. He slides. He is safe. Yes. Here's one that's shot into center. Huckstorf dives forward. He's got it. What a catch by Huckstorf in center. Full extension. Got it. Here's Rader Tello, runner on second, 2 outs. First pitch to Tello, drives this one deep to left. Get going, baby. On. Get going. It is gone. Ha-ha! Adios, pelota. And that's what Rader Tello does right there. He gives the Hawkeyes the lead. Huckstorf shoots this in the air to right, carrying well. Get going, baby. It's one hopping off the wall. Huckstorf rounds first, heads for second, and a leadoff double for the hottest Hawkeye hitter right now, Kyle Huckstorf. 0-2 to Petey. This one's crushed. Deep left. Get going, baby. It is gone. Home run. Sam Peterson. Boom. Moss at second. He'll be going on contact. 0-1 pitch to Huckstorf. On the ground, up the middle and through into center. Moss will be waved in. He rounds third. Here comes the throw. It's cut off at the mound, and the Hawks lead 12-2. Huckstorf again. Yes. 0-2. Outside corner. Got him. Called third strike, and that'll do it. In game number 1 of the doubleheader, Hawks win it 12-2 over South Dakota State. Following a 5-run third and a 7-run sixth. And that was a tense series with South Dakota State, one that Iowa couldn't afford to drop any games in, and they didn't. They sweep the Jackrabbits, improved to 15-3, and now here we are getting ready for first pitch of the midweek game with Grandview. We're back right after this to talk with pitching coach Sean McGrath. He's up next right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
At U.S. Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join U.S. Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese.
Lunch is ready.
He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of Iowa Hawkeye baseball this afternoon. It's Iowa and Grandview from Dwayne Banks Field. We're joined by pitching coach Sean McGrath. Coach, we're about a third of the way through the season now. Just your assessment of your staff so far.
I'd say so far so good. A lot of the things we try to cover, the ability to advance counts, the ability to really dominate the strike zone, those things have been really good, and especially good in spurts. With that being said, there's always room to go and grow, and specifically in some of the controllables, our ability to, make an adjustment a little bit faster, kind of recenter through our breath and our visualization. Some of the things that we'd like to be a little bit further along right now are just coming along a little bit slower, but we're making some headway.
A couple of the challenges of being on the road to start the season, right? How do you think your staff handled that? Maybe an emphasis on the Texas Tech series in a hostile environment.
Yeah, I think they've done really well. Obviously, you saw a little bit of nerves first time kind of in that environment in a true road game or a road series. But, on the whole, I think they've managed being away, the grind of traveling first 5 weekends pretty well, and I'm really pleased with where we're at.
Bullpen is really strong, Coach.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. We have a lot of really good pieces back there. Louie and Christo have been phenomenal, and then you throw out some of those bullpen aces. They've been really great, kind of steadying the waters when the waters get rough.
How about the rotation to this point? We came in with something we thought was set. Maybe that's going to change a little bit.
Yeah, I think, Brody's kind of shown us who he is and his capabilities as a Friday night guy. And then, Saturday and Sunday are fluid and continue to be fluid. I think, throughout the season, I don't know if we'll have one rotation throughout the year. We may ride the hot hand a little bit more, but, I'd never thought of it as a traditional 3 starters and then the bullpen. I think the way you saw it was, we had 6 guys, and we kind of, really just considered them all really incredible out-getters and put them in positions to be successful, and each and every one of those guys has done a nice job this fall.
Ty had a lot of preseason hype coming into the year and maybe off to a bit of a rocky start. He's been really good out of the bullpen the last couple times. Just talk about Ty's season to this point.
Yeah, Ty came out of the gates. The velocity was down a little bit. The slider had regressed some. And, what we saw was a little bit of early struggles. Getting them to the bullpen, making an adjustment to the release profile of his fastball and the thoughts on his fastball has really changed the vertical break, and the velocities come back quite a bit. And then this past week you saw, a new slider cue that allowed him to throw, 80-82 with 20 inches of sweep was really phenomenal. And, his last 5 innings, the Wednesday inning and then the 4 innings this weekend were a great sign of who Ty is and a guy who is worthy of all the preseason accolades.
We've been trying to figure it out a little bit because in his starts, that fastball was kind of like low 90s, and now all of a sudden the past couple times it's mid 90s. What's the change there that's helped him do that, or is it all a mental thing?
Some of it, I'm sure, was mental. He's dealing with a lot of variables, a lot of scouts in the stands, pitching on Friday night for the first time in his career. But there was a tangible change to his release profile. His arm slot had dropped a little bit, and just through some of our practice design, we were able to kind of allow him to get a little bit more what we called contralateral tilt, which got him into a better slot to be able to ride the fastball with a little bit more juice.
Talking with Sean McGrath, I was pitching coach on our pregame show from Dwayne Banks this afternoon. Another midweek with Grandview today. Maybe what's the plan there, or how do you view the midweek guys to this point?
They've done a great job, right? Every guy on our staff has really accepted their role, which has allowed them to really own it and quite honestly dominate it. I think today we'll run out with Keaton. Keaton will go a couple innings and hopefully get us off to a really clean, good start. And then we'll see a plethora of guys out of the bullpen, try to match up as best we can.
Does it make your job a little challenging where, hey, if those guys do almost too good in the midweek, they're going to be on the weekend, and then you focus on finding time for them in the weekend?
Yeah, a couple of these guys have done a really great job midweek, and that's the thing we talk about all the time. Like, we kind of run out of innings here sometimes, and it's a really good problem to have when you have depth, and we do have depth. And these guys, again, they've remained patient, they've remained grateful and found joy in others' success. And that's what, when they get their opportunity to get their inning out here during the midweek, that's part of what allows them to be successful. Instead of, sitting and letting, the lack of innings fester, they're really freaking finding joy in their teammates and their successes, and it allows them to be others focused, and when they get their opportunity, they've done really a great job with it.
Those are the signs of a great team, Coach, and I think we've got one to this point. Conference play coming up. Let's take care of business against Grandview today.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, pitching coach Sean McGrath on our pregame show in Iowa City. Coming up next, we'll talk with head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller, right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of Iowa Hawkeye baseball this afternoon. It's Iowa and Grandview from Duane Banks Field. We're joined now by head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller. Coach, just a final thought on the series against South Dakota State.
Really happy with how our guys handled the weekend. Changed a lot of stuff up and had to go all the way to Kansas City on Friday, come back. Had a good practice on Saturday, couldn't play, either place, and then come out on Sunday, and it was a sun-filled day, but very cold. And I thought our guys really responded well. They played hard. There was no letdowns. There was no distraction with changes, and handled the doubleheader really well. And that was a good sign. We talked about the fact that in conference play, it seems like you end up playing at least 3 or 4 9-inning doubleheaders each year because of weather and travel stuff on Sunday with teams and all that stuff. So I was really, really happy with the overall effort of our guys.
You had challenged the guys on Friday and did really clean things up. Took a different approach in your message that you sent to the team. Do you think that got through? And maybe was this South Dakota State weekend something that your team needed to say, hey, let's really get it going?
Well, I hope so. I mean, it appears that way, but I mean, I guess you never really know. But no, we went out and did what we needed to do, and we definitely did clean things up for the most part. And Ty Langenberg looked like himself, and Jared Simpson looked like himself, and I was just Luke Llewellyn had a good weekend. Will Christofferson had a good weekend out of the bullpen, and just gave you some good feelings as we head into the final non-conference weekend before we have to face a really tough Maryland team in our first week of conference play here in Iowa City.
Yeah, that's coming up in a hurry, and you start off with what's projected to be the top team in the Big Ten. We might have something to say about that, but just a couple more weeks to get tuned up for that. Off to the best start since 1939, Coach. Does it feel like that? I don't know the quality of baseball back then, but does it feel like you're having a great start to the season, aside from the record?
From a win-loss standpoint, without question, we're off to a good start. And unfortunately, some of the teams that we thought were going to be pretty good haven't had great years to this point, so that's a little disappointing, and you hope they turn it around, and which would help our RPI as we move forward, because we don't have a lot of great RPI situations after conference starts, and a lot of our midweek games are against teams I would consider good teams, solid teams that can beat you, but because the northern schools have to travel so much to get beat up a little bit, and the RPI is just not there. I mean, just you look at last weekend, we swept the series and dropped 25 points in the RPI. I mean, any system that you can do that is crazy. Yeah, but it is what it is, and so I guess yes, we are off to a good start. It feels like we are, but on some aspects of the game, I just don't feel like we have our pitching where we want it to be or where we need it to be, moving forward. And that's probably the one thing I would say that we still have some work to do as we head forward.
Is there some pressure on the pitching staff then to figure it out quickly by the time conference gets here, or you try to eliminate that pressure?
Try to eliminate the pressure. You just would like to know what you're going to get, if that makes any sense. And I tell the pitchers that a lot, is that as a position player, a guy that's a defensive player, an offensive player, if the guys know, relatively certain that you know what you're gonna get, it seems like they always find a way to play better behind you. But it's a challenge when you might have a no-hitter through 5, and then you might be out in the second inning and out in the third inning, and we've dealt with that really well, and we've overcome some of that in a lot of our games early, But I guess from my point of view, it's time to be more consistent. I mean, it just has to be. And I think we're getting there. It's just taking a little longer than maybe what we thought.
We talked with Coach McGrath just moments ago, and we talked about Ty Langenberg a little bit, just his improvement in the bullpen. He looks like a totally different Ty than the starter version we've seen this year. Do you see that being his role maybe in the long term?
No, I really want Ty to be our Sunday starter is what I want Ty to be. And, you know, the trip to the bullpen a lot of times does work. I mean, you can go out, you know, throw an inning, blow it out in that midweek and really get after it. Which is going to be more intentful than probably any bullpen you're going to throw with no hitters.
Sure.
And I think that was good for Ty. And then Coach McGrath and Ty really worked hard last week on tweaking his slider, on tweaking Ty's slider a little bit. And it, you know, whether he can you know, be consistent with it. But it was exactly what he needed to do as a result on Sunday. I mean, it was what we thought would be there, and that changes the whole game for him. You know, his velocity was you know, up a couple ticks, and the slider was really good, which enables him to keep throwing his changeup. And see, we've talked about this in some of his starts that didn't go so well. When his velocity is up, the speed differential in his changeup is about where it needs to be. But the problem Ty has is when his velocity goes down, the speed differential narrows with his changeup, and it seems to get hit a lot more. And so anyway, the work that Sean and Ty put in last week, I thought really paid off, and I think Ty feels a lot more confident and feels a lot better about where he's at right now.
Talking with the head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller, on our pregame show in Iowa City this evening. Coach, this Grandview team got a pretty good record. They look like a solid squad. Well,
yeah, they do, and they're you look at their statistics, and they're just swinging the heck out of it. You know, putting up big numbers offensively, a lot of wins, and you know, the thing for me that's different is that you don't see Lou Jasnich sitting over there in the dugout. You know, and 40 plus years Lou was in that dugout, and have played against him, you know, since the 90s when I was at Upper Iowa, and you know, Doug is doing a good job with the guys, and you know, they're off to a good start. But for me, it was a weird feeling when I looked and didn't see Lou sitting over there.
You think they're still playing the same way? Lou be proud of them?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know, when we were, I mean, Grandview's always been a very good program and a very potent offensive team, and that was what Lou hung his hat on for years and years. Boy, I mean, they hit the ball hard, and they really swung it, and looks like Doug's following suit with that.
Our pitching today, we talked with Coach McGrath. He thought we'd go with Keaton to start. How do you see today unfolding for your pitchers?
We're gonna you know, start Keaton. I think Keaton is getting in a better place. Now, we didn't use him this weekend, but I think we're going to definitely need to as the year goes on. But with him not throwing this weekend, it gives us another great chance for him to go out and get you know, at least 2 innings and see how the game's playing out from there. But I thought Keaton looked really sharp the last couple times he's been out. More like the Keaton that I thought that you know, we'd have saw earlier in the season. And very similar with Ty. I think Coach McGrath has been able to spend some time with Keaton in the bullpen, and they've worked out some things with his slider, and he's still got the good sinker and the changeup and the other stuff that he throws. But they tweaked that slider a little bit, and it looks to me like it's working.
Any injury update on Chase Mosley or maybe the rest of the team?
Well, on Chase, you know, with the hamstring pull, he had a hamstring situation at Kirkwood, and then even dating back to high school, and this was the other hamstring. It wasn't the one that he'd had problems with, and all of us are hopeful that maybe it's not as bad as it appeared at the time, but we don't really know. He's getting looked at tomorrow by the team doctors, and they're going to do an ultrasound and possibly an MRI to see how severe it is. I mean, regardless, I mean, Chase is going to be out for an extended period of time. We're just hopeful that it's less than maybe what we were thinking on Sunday.
All right, Coach, we get closer to first pitch today. Just a few keys to victory to take down Grandview.
Well, the one for me is that I would love to see the offense come out and really put some runs on the board early. We've done a good job in each of our midweek games to this point, but it hasn't been the the high number of runs early, where you can relax a little bit and feel comfortable about getting more guys at bats, maybe a couple more. I'd love to see every guy on the offense get a couple at bats today, and then as you well know, anytime that you're going to throw 6-7 pitchers, all of them need to come in and throw strikes, and makes it a lot easier when your offense can give you a little cushion and a little insurance, and takes the heat off those guys coming in and knowing they have to be perfect almost.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Let's win the day and take down the Vikings.
All right, thanks, John.
Head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller, on our pregame show from Duane Banks Field. It's Iowa and Grandview coming up in just a few minutes. We're back right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Good afternoon. It's Iowa and Grandview from Duane Banks Field today in Iowa City. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. Let's welcome in color analyst John Evans to the broadcast today. John, we're back home, a little bit better mood, weather-wise, I guess, than we were on Sunday. It feels a little bit better today, doesn't it?
I can feel my fingers and toes. We've made positive progress over the weekend.
That's a start. All right, the Hawks 15-3, Grandview out of the NAIA 13-3, and they're pretty competitive, pretty good.
Good ball club, as you maybe just heard Coach Heller say, really can hit it around the park a little bit. Has struggled just a touch with pitching comparatively, but overall, 13-3, they know how to get it done. Coach Heller wants to try to see that offensive explosion a little bit earlier in the game today rather than wait until the later innings. It's a big team, and the pitching staff has really been shrunk down on the weekends because for the most part the arms have been good, and so you get the 1A, 1B starter that covers most of the game, and then from a hitting standpoint, it's been a lot of the same guys with some shuffles, but it'd be nice to see some of the guys that maybe don't get to travel to get a chance to play and keep them sharp because, as Coach Heller mentioned, injuries and things pop up, and at some point you're going to need some depth and you're going to need some other guys to do something that they aren't being asked to do right now. It feels like the team might be a little bit more refreshed to get a couple days off and to still be at home here as conference play's coming up. I can't believe it, John. Conference play coming already. Well, it's been, Friday we obviously, didn't get to play the opener here at home and instead had to go on the road. But, now to be home since Saturday and get a chance to kind of relax and keep sleep in their own bed if nothing else, and just kind of get into that routine is a good thing for the squad. How would you assess the start to the year for Iowa? We talked about it with Coach Heller, 15-3, but the main theme we've noticed the past few weeks has been, we're off to a good start, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it. We got to be getting better here. Learning lessons and winning. We've talked about this a handful of times. It is way better than learning lessons in a loss, and every win for Iowa is important because of kind of the handicaps of a northern school in the RPI, and so you just have to take advantage of every opportunity you get. And unfortunately, the selection committee sometimes with North schools look for reasons to keep you out rather than reasons to put you in. So Iowa just needs to keep on top of it and not give them a reason, and they've been very good at that and finding ways to win differently. It's been hitting, it's been pitching, it's been good fielding, it's been a little bit of mixture of all three at the same time. So that's been the fun part, is they've shown different ways to win, and that versatility will really help them through the Big Ten season.
Coach Heller talked about the schedule, right? Even when you get into conference play, but the non-conference, some of the teams haven't really held up their end of the bargain, right? And so if that's going to be something that we aren't able to control, well, we better win all the games that we can.
Correct. You control what you can control, do what you can do. Coach Heller put together, a schedule that, in February or January it looked pretty tough, and it still might pan out that way, but some teams have gotten off to more difficult starts, but at the end of the day, you just have to go win as many games as you can, recognizing that it's baseball, so you're not going to win them all. You saw LSU lose a game the other day in a series. I mean, it happens. It happens to the number one ranked team, and they're still ranked number one, even though they've now dropped a couple.
All right, we'll step aside for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups, batting orders, and first pitch. It's Iowa and Grandview coming up in just a few minutes. We'll step aside. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Oh, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Beautiful performance of our national anthem ahead of first pitch between Iowa and Grandview. Today it's the Hawkeyes and the Vikings. Time for today's starting lineups and batting orders. We'll start with Grandview. The visitors, the Vikings, are 13-3 on the season. Carson Waddle is their leadoff hitter. Camden Armstrong will bat second. Batting third is Corey Prangy. In the cleanup spot is Eric Brokemeyer. Batting fifth is Nolan Drill. In the sixth spot is Brock Reinhardt. 7, 8, 9 for Grandview. Connor Canny, Jeff Lamp, and Brooke Heinen. He bats ninth. For the Hawkeyes, defensively across the infield, Brennan Duriggi's the starting first baseman. Sam Honar's at second. Michael Seegers at shortstop. At the hot corner at third is Raider Tello. Out in the outfield, Sam Peterson in left, Kyle Hucksdorf in center, Ben Wilmus in right. Doing the catching today for the Hawkeyes is Ben Tallman, and on the mound getting the start for Iowa is Keaton Anthony. A look at Keaton Anthony's stat line as he gets another appearance, another start for the Hawkeyes.
4.63 ERA for Keaton. This will be his fifth appearance, his second start. He is 1-0 on the season. 11 2/3 innings. He's given up 13 hits, 7 runs, 6 of which were earned. Walked 4 and struck out 8. Keaton has been, for the most part, pretty good. Got knocked around a little bit, and kind of like, I think it was a Sam Houston game. It was kind of trying to eat innings up, and maybe got extended a little long and gave up a couple of hits there. But Keaton's done a nice job on the mound in his first, I guess you'd call it, full season on the mound here in Iowa City.
Since that game you mentioned against Sam Houston, he's really improved. And I know the coaching staff had talked about trying to find a way to get him some more innings because there was a weekend where he just didn't get in. I can't remember which one that was. If that was South Alabama or
Lubbock. He
Lubbock.
warmed up a couple times, but then never made it out there. And Keaton's trying to figure out how to be a two-way guy. It's one thing if you hit 130 and you never spend any time running the bases, but Keaton hits for power, spends some time running around the bases, and then has to be able to maybe be a little winded or figure out how to kind of catch his breath and go to the mound and get outs. And he's seen his velocity dip a little bit there as he's tried to marry those two things now together this year.
Carson Waddle leads things off for the Vikings. Grandview in red tops. Grandview spelled out in black across the chest. They've got black on their sleeves that come down on their tops. White pants with a red stripe down the side. Hawkeyes are wearing all white this afternoon with script Iowa spelled out in black across the chest. Gold baseball caps with a black script I on the front panel. Black bills for the Hawkeyes in the field. First pitch from Keaton. Anthony's fouled off to the left side, so Waddle's first pitch swinging, but down on the count 0-1.
This Grandview team averages over 9 runs a game, averages over a home run a game.
Half swing on the 0-1. Keaton had him fooled. It's 0-2.
So we were talking in the beginning. They're a good hitting team, and Keaton will have to be on top to kind of keep the ball moving around.
0-2. The pitch from Anthony to Tallman. That's a slider outside. 1-2.
Waddle hitting .293 on the season. Doing a nice job. Almost a .400 on base percentage, mostly in that leadoff spot.
Out of the windup, the 1-2 from Anthony, just outside for ball 2. Umpires today, Shane Cannon is behind the plate. Christopher Sylvester is down the first baseline. Don Umland is at second. Seth Hansen, the umpire, at third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch from Anthony. Inside for a ball, and it's 3-2.
Just missed on those last 2 pitches. Really hit his spot.
You almost feel like Waddle chased the first 2, and now he's been really picky on the ones that have been close.
Really, the 1-2 pitch almost dotted him.
3-2, that's high, ball 4. Wasn't it bat there from Waddle to draw the walk after he was borderline dead to rights being down 0-2? Good
battle back there. I mean, the last 3 pitches, Keaton kind of lost the 0-2 pitch, but the other 3 were all right around the strike zone. Didn't catch a break from the umpire, and They were all either on the edge or just outside of it, and ends up with a leadoff walk.
Batter's Camden Armstrong, right-handed hitter. Anthony has to operate out of the stretch now. First pitch, hit on the ground to short. Seegers charges it hard, flips it to second for 1, on to first, and the throw is wide of DeRiggi. Would have been a tough play anyways, and it actually gets into just the little cage next to the dugout. And so Armstrong gets to advance to second.
I was just going to say, it was a good play by Seegers to get the lead runner as the slow chopper. Turns out it didn't really matter as Honar's turn throw snuck past and will move the runner up to second anyway.
So Armstrong at second. Corey Prangy is up, left-handed hitter. He's their second baseman.
Another one, 324 on the season, so another good average here at the top of the order.
First pitch from Anthony, outside corner called strike. Started him off with breaking ball.
Really good spinner there from Keaton to catch kind of the outer half of the plate.
0-1 is fouled off the end of the bat, just underway from Dwayne Banks Field this afternoon. Grandview and Iowa. The Hawkeyes will welcome Western Michigan this weekend for the final non-conference series. Broncos come to town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Anthony ready with the 0-2. That's outside, ball 1.
See if Keaton does a better job here. He got ahead of the leadoff hitter Waddle, and then lost him after being ahead 0-2. So see if he does a good job of nibbling here, but maybe getting in the zone.
He goes away with another chase pitch. This one's low, and it's 2-2. Maybe learned something from the first at bat. He tried to paint the corners and came up empty and then ended up walking him. So he comes in with this one here. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Low and outside corner. One down.
Actually, two away. Good fastball there on the outer half. Gets him that much closer to out of danger here, but a good cleanup hitter popping up here in Brookemeyer.
That pitch would have been really tough for Prangy to hit right there. Low and away. Maybe a little tail to it, moving away from the left-handed hitter.
Yeah, we've talked about a lot of times the best you're going to do on those if you try to pull it, just a little rollover ground ball.
Batter is Brookemeyer, their first baseman. He's a specimen in the box, right-handed hitter.
418 on the season.
I'm not surprised by that. Looks like he's got a lot of power.
7 extra base hits so far, a couple home runs.
He reached for that one. It's 1-1. Leads the team in hits with 23.
I think the impressive thing is when you look at that stat line, 7 walks to just 9 strikeouts. So not a high strikeout guy, which of course I guess if you're hitting 418, it's hard to be a high strikeout guy. But
ball and a strike. Pitch is low and outside, 2-1. Typically when you think of a power hitter, right, it's boom or bust, right? He's going to hit a home run or he's going to strike out is typically how it goes, but not from Brookemeyer this year.
But if you look at him, he's got a couple triples on the year too, and
got speed somewhere, huh?
Yeah, that or he's hit the right gap somewhere in there.
2 balls and a strike with 2 outs in the top of the first. Pitch from Anthony, lifted in the air, shallow right. Ben Wilmus tracking over towards the line. He looks up into the cloudy skies. He's got it for the 3rd out of the inning. All right, good inning from Keaton Anthony in the Hawkeye defense. The leadoff walk doesn't come back to bite the Hawkeyes. Bottom of the first, we'll get you Iowa's batting order right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
At MidAmerican Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at midamericanenergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of MidAmerican Energy.
Iowa holds Grandview scoreless in the top of the first. Try to get that big inning a little bit earlier, as we heard from Coach Heller in the pregame show. Iowa's batting order will look very similar in the first 5 or 6. Michael Seegers will step in first. Kyle Huckstorf batting second. In the 3 spot is Brennan DeRiggi. Cleanup is Keaton Anthony. 5-hitter Raider Tello today. Sam Peterson will bat 6 for the Hawkeyes. 7, 8, 9, Sam Honar, Ben Tallman, and Ben Wilmus. They'll face off against Drew Kahn, right-handed pitcher for Grandview.
3-0 on the season, making his 4th start, his 5th appearance overall. 5.54 ERA. He's had some control issues. In 13 innings, he's walked 7 and hit 11. Opponents are only hitting 188 against him, but it'll be important for the Hawkeyes to be alert and ready.
First pitch is right down central to Seegers. He takes it for a strike.
Of course it is, after I talk about control issues.
Yeah. And we've talked about it before, how difficult that can be as a hitter when you don't always expect to strike. 0-1 is lifted in the air to left. Left fielder going back near the track, near the wall. Get going, and it's off the wall and off the left fielder's glove. Seegers rounding second, headed for third, and it'll be a leadoff triple. Maybe we'll see how they score it, but nevertheless, Seegers is on third.
That's a triple all the way. As that was a tough track there, but left fielder had a play on it. Just maybe instead of if he gets all the way back, but that ball just kept carrying, and so he kind of just kept loping after it, and by the time he tried to jump up and make a catch, he bumped into the wall and ball jarred loose.
There's really no wind to speak of, but Seeger's got all of that one. And he's at third with nobody out. First pitch to Hucksdorf is low and outside, ball one. It was a good effort by Drill in left, and I think if the wall was maybe 5 feet deeper or further, he would have probably made that catch, but ramming into the wall at the same time the ball hit the glove. 1-0 to Hucksdorf, swing and a miss, 1-1.
Huck's been really good here, and that leads the team now hitting .429. We've talked about it, 4 home runs, which is tied for the league lead. Not exactly what you'd expect, but really shown a good bat.
1-1 is inside, 2-1. Grandview's got Brokemeyer at first, Prangy at second, Armstrong at short, Waddle at third. Outfield is Drill in left, Heinen in center, Canny in right. Hucksdorf taps this on the ground to third. Here comes Seegers. He'll score. The throw across to first. Nice play to get Hucksdorf out down the line. But Seegers, he comes down the line and home and scores. Iowa leading 1-0.
RBI ground out as Huck kind of just knocked that one right into the ground. Actually, it's almost a pretty good swinging bunt for him with his speed to have a chance to beat it out. Took a good play to get him. And
it was a close play there, wasn't it?
Sneaky that way. It got him out, but now DeRiggi will get us started again.
First pitch strike on the inside corner. That was a good play by Waddle to charge that hard at third, come up and throw it on the run. One down in the bottom of the first, Iowa leading 1-0. And DeRiggi's down in the count 0-2. I've noticed Brennan, unless I missed it last weekend, this different bat that he's using, a teal-blue bat this time. I don't know that I've seen him use it this year.
I'm not sure I'd switch. He was doing okay.
Yeah, 0-2. That's in the dirt, ball one.
371 on the season, 6 doubles, 3 home runs.
Now, we're superstitious up here in the booth, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm not sure that was worth a big shakeup.
1-2 pitch to DeRiggi. This is lined into left, angling towards the line, and down into the corner. DeRiggi rounds first. He's headed for second. It'll be a double for DeRiggi in the bottom of the first to get things going again.
88-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside half of the plate. DeRiggi just stayed with it, sliced it right away from that left fielder, and ended up with a stand-up double.
Yeah, Drill's getting a workout in left. There's that opposite field power from DeRiggi, and that just kept tailing towards the line. Couldn't catch up to it. So Brennan with a one-out double. Iowa hitting very well to start the game. Leading Grandview 1-0. Here's Keaton Anthony. Kahn is ready. First pitch to Anthony right down the middle, called strike.
Good breaking ball there. Started DeRiggi off that way also, and so it'll be interesting if the Hawkeye hitters kind of pay attention to how he likes to try to start and get ahead early, because they didn't have a whole lot on the scouting report.
0-1 is crushed deep to center. Center fielder Heinen going back, still going back. Get going, baby. One hopping off the wall. DeRiggi's rounding third. He'll score. And Anthony with an RBI double makes it 2-0. Hit that to the deepest part of the park.
Yeah, Keaton hit that about as far as he could and not get a home run. Ball carried 392 with as he just pounded it. Again, stayed with the breaking ball that time and drilled it right out there. Center fielder made a fantastic play off the wall. As the ball ricocheted off the wall, got it on a bare hand, got it quickly back in, but really was nobody he was going to be able to get out anywhere.
3 hits for Iowa in the inning, all extra base hits. Hawks lead 2-0. Here's Tello. First pitch to Rader. Called strike on the inside corner. That one got close to 90. That's probably the hardest pitch we've seen in the first inning from Kahn.
Yeah, Kahn's fastball's been in that 86 to 88 range when he turns on the breaking ball.
Goes to the outside corner, but just off, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, umpire Cannon hasn't had a lot of extra room on his strike zone's been good, just hasn't had a lot of extra room in the first inning here.
Tello takes this one, breaking ball just on the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Well, looks like the Hawkeyes have received the message from Coach Heller to try to jump on these guys early, huh?
I think if you see a strike, go hit it. If you like it, go get it.
Ooh, 1-2 up and in on Tello's hands. He backs away from it, 2-2. Anthony's there at second with 1 out. Iowa leading 2-0.
Mentioned that Kahn has 11 hit batters this year, so not unusual to see him come inside.
2-2 to Tello. Called third strike on the outside corner. I don't know if he heard you from up here, John. Gave a little extra room there. Tello's down on strikes for out number 2.
He did. He kind of expanded the strike zone a little bit. That's a tough pitch for Rader with 2 strikes. Maybe we saw Waddle, the leadoff hitter for Grandview, have very good eye and have all those in his favor in the top of the first, and Rader got punched out there.
Peterson squares to bunt, puts one down the third base line. It's charged hard by Waddle. The throw to first, got him. By about half a step. Good idea from Petey, but a better play from Waddle to get out of the inning. The Hawks get 2 runs in the bottom of the first on 3 extra base hits. Iowa leading Grandview after 1, 2-0. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oaknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. The Hotel Kirkwood, named the Corridor Business Journal's 2022 Best Banquet and Event Venue. And awarded the AAA 4 Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatkirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Iowa. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Well, there's some of the run support that Keaton Anthony and the Hawkeye pitching staff was looking for, and it comes early in the first inning with 3 extra base hits, a leadoff triple from Seegers, and then a couple of doubles back-to-back, DeRiggi and Anthony. Iowa leading Grandview 2-0 in the top of the second.
3 real solidly connected balls, too, as Michael sent his to the wall and left. DeRiggi put a good slice move and got his hop into the wall in left field as well, and then Keaton Anthony drove his to the deepest part of the park and 1 hops off the wall. So really good job there from Hawkeye hitters of getting barrel on the ball right away.
Really good to see Anthony have a pitch that he can drive and then to actually drive it, right?
Exactly.
He's on the mound against Nolan Drill, who hits this on the ground to short. Seegers scoops it up, bobbles it, spins it, throws it, got him at first. That's how you hang with it right there. Michael Seegers, 1 down.
Good stretch from DeRiggi to stick with that as well and make the snag. 1 pitch, 1 out.
That was close over there at first. Drill's got a little more speed. Maybe he makes it, but good job by Seegers. 1 away in the top of the second. Brock Reinhardt steps in. He's their catcher, left-handed hitter. First pitch swinging right to DeRiggi. DeRiggi takes it on a couple of bounces, and he'll jog on over and touch the bag. 2 down.
Keaton may get a throw a bonus inning if he mows through this one.
Pretty efficient so far. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Connor Canny will stand in. Canny's a pretty good hitter for Grandview, 388. He's got 4 home runs.
Yeah, tied for the team lead in home runs and 8 extra base hits in total. So really good job slugging, 735.
First pitch is a strike from Anthony. Canny was red light all the way there.
You about have to be after you made 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Swing and a miss on the 0-1. And we'll see if Keaton can get through this inning in 5 pitches. Out of the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. That's low. Blocked nicely by Tallman, 1-2.
One of the things as maybe you'll see as Keaton gets a little bit more mound experience at this level, we've seen 3 0-2 pitches, and none of the 3 have been competitive really at all.
1-2's hit foul and out of play over to the right side. We'll do it again.
I get the concept of a waste pitch, but you want to make the guy at least think about swinging at it. And so far that really hasn't happened yet. But he's battled back, and we'll see if he can go 2 for 3 here with the outs.
Ooh, up and in. 2-2. That's going to make us flinch every time, isn't it, John?
There's just nothing quite like those. I don't care which team's at bat. I don't want to see anybody get hit by the pitch.
No. All right, count 2-2 with 2 outs. Top of the second, pitch from Anthony. Lifted in the air down the right field line. DeRiggi's giving chase in foul territory now, and he's got it. Out number 3, a 1-2-3 inning for the Hawkeyes against the Vikings in the top of the second. Iowa tried to add to their lead when we come back for the bottom of the second. Hawks lead 2-0. You're listening to Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
For Iowa, leading Grandview 2-0, then to come out and get the shutdown inning right there and not give the Vikings anything after we put up a few runs. So now you can build on the lead that you earned here in the second now. It'll be 7-8-9, Honar, Tallman, and Wilmus.
We talk about it all the time of especially when you put up a crooked number, go out and make sure you put up a 0. Not only did Anthony put up a 0, we did it on 7 pitches.
Sure.
That's a pretty efficient 0 to get your bats going again.
Hawkeye second baseman Sam Honar stands in. First pitch floats outside for ball 1. Honar, left-handed hitter. He's using that teal bat. I don't know if it's new or if I'm fixating on it, John. Swing and a miss on the 1-0. I can't remember the Hawks using this one in the last few weeks.
I don't remember the one Sam has there is teal the whole way through. I don't remember that one at all.
1-1, high and outside, 2-1.
Although, must be something because I'm looking at Ben in the on-deck circle, and his is also teal. So we're clearly just not observant.
I guess. It's kind of our job, isn't it? 2-1 is swung on and missed. 2-2. That one came in at 78 miles an hour.
Good curveball there on the outer half of the plate away from Sam. So, floated in through the right-handed batter's box and broke into the outside.
3-2 now. That one high and outside. Hawkeyes trying to get the leadoff man on in back-to-back innings.
Tried to show fastball there, kind of in the same tunnel, but just Sam wasn't biting on it.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Honar golfed at that one. Usually a pretty good spot for him to connect, but he missed that one. He's out number 1.
Good breaking ball there. As again, Sam's thinking fastball there on the 3-2 pitch. Instead, the breaking ball falls off the table and drops it right in. A little back foot curveball, back foot slider there gets him.
And we'll see Ben Tallman now. He's only played in 8 games this season for Iowa, making his 4th start this afternoon. Good to see Tallman back in the lineup. Right-handed hitter. First pitch to him. Lifts it high in the air to left. It's carrying well, though, down the left field. Caught at the wall. That was in the air forever. If he maybe brings it down a bit, it gets out of here. For whatever reason, the atmosphere is promoting balls carrying out of the ballpark today. I don't know how. It's not particularly warm, and there's no wind blowing out. No,
but that had an exit velocity of 101.
There,
so
that would explain it.
I think that's part of your carry ability there, is as he really did it, just a launch angle a little lower, and that ball probably hits the scoreboard.
Well, Kahn is looking for a 1-2-3 inning now. Ben Wilmus will stand in, and the first pitch to him is on the outside corner, 0-1.
We talk a lot about Chase Mosley and how his batting average doesn't really do justice to what he brings to the plate. And you see the same thing with Ben. Ben's hitting just 167 on the season, but his on-base percentage is 500.
Wow.
So a really nice job of taking advantage of his opportunities and getting on base and giving the Iowa opportunities.
1-1 in on the hands and 2-1. Wellness has drawn 5 walks. He's been hit 3 times. Two balls and a strike to Wilmus. Line drive into left field, down for a base hit. It's a 2-out single for Wilmus, and he's on for the top of the order now for the Hawkeyes.
And Wilmer's got a bunch of buddies on the Grandview team too. You got a lot of Johnston kids on the Grandview squad. I was talking to him before. I said, "You know a few of these guys?" He goes, "I know all of these guys."
That was the whole team. That's got to be an interesting dynamic too. You either played with them or against them. We saw it early in the season with the home midweek game when we played Loris. Seegers lines this in the air to right. Right fielder's got it played well as it curves towards the line. Make the catch for out number 3. Seegers is retired. 1 hit in the inning for the Hawkeyes. And Ben Wilmus, he got on, but he was stranded. We've played 2 at Duane Banks. Hawkeyes lead 2-0. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs, but what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately, then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of MidAmerican Energy.
John Evans and John Liu in the broadcast booth at Duane Banks Field here in Iowa City. Top of the 3rd inning. Hawkeyes leading the Grandview Vikings 2-0. We'll make a pitching change. Keaton Anthony with 2 great innings, but we'll go with Nick Gatilla now.
Nick's 7th appearance on the season, 4.32 ERA. He's thrown 8 1/3 innings, given up 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 in total, walked 4, struck out 10. Opponent's hitting just 194 against him, and Nick's really done a good job of kind of being kind of whatever's really needed. He hasn't had kind of that late inning shutdown role, but he's had hey, we need to get out of this inning, or I need you to eat 2 or 3 innings for me to help us kind of bridge the gap to somebody, the next guy in the bullpen. And he's really done a nice job of that, and he's got kind of a sneaky little delivery from the left side, so not something that hitters see all the time.
Been really impressed with Gatilla. It's kind of like those 3 guys out of the bullpen first. When we heard from Coach McGrath earlier, he said, I've never viewed this as a 3-person rotation, more of a, hey, we've got 6 capable guys that can come in and perform. I think Nick fits that role for the time being. Like you mentioned, hasn't had that late inning sequence yet, but put him in the likes with Zach Volker, right, to kind of come in and be the first guy after the starter, whatever that might look like.
Well, I mean, you need 27 outs to win, and so whether you need him to come in to get outs, 16 through 21 or whatever it is, they're all important.
First pitch from Gatilla is low and in to Jeff Lamp, their designated hitter. I feel like we haven't seen Nick in quite a while here. Yeah, he hasn't pitched since the St. Thomas game, the midweek after the Texas Tech series, so about a week ago is the last time we saw Gatilla. He came in and threw an inning and 2/3, gave up 2 hits and 1 run that was not earned. Counts 1-1 to Lamp, and that is up and in, almost hit him right near the eyes. Woo! And a little bit of a glare back from Lamp to Gatilla. I don't imagine any intent there.
Well, the weekend's talking about Nick and not pitching this weekend. It was just a weird series. just misses low and away there. The 2 7-inning games, and especially the way they shook out, with Marcus Morgan maybe struggling a little in the first game, but then Jared Simpson coming on.
3-1 popped up. Foul territory. Raider Tello giving chase in front of the dugout and couldn't make the play. And then he goes head over heels on the Grandview dugout rail. Hope Raiders okay. Got him right in the midsection. We'll take our time before we get the next pitch from Gatilla.
Yeah, Raider will walk that one off a little bit. His full speed there just kind of bobbled out of his glove right before he hit the railing. But then in the second game of that doubleheader, kind of the same way. Kate Obermuller had a really rough start. Luke Llewellyn came in, kind of got him out of that mess. Jacob Henderson came in, got Luke out of a mess. And then Ty Langenberg was fantastic and kind of shut it all down.
3-2 just inside. Gatilla with the leadoff walk to Lamp.
And so, the 2 7-inning games really kind of threw off what might normally happen in any given weekend, and it shorts you 4 innings really, and so it's what makes today and this midweek game important, and probably why Keaton didn't get a 3rd inning, to be honest.
Yeah, it was certainly not about Keaton. Heinen will bunt this one right to Tello. Tello's got it. Good, accurate, hard throw over to first to get Heinen, but they execute the small ball and get Lamp up to second.
Well done there. Just didn't fool around. Just took the curveball right across the middle of the plate, put a good bunt down, and didn't try to get too particular with it. Just made the third baseman field it and did his job.
Just to kind of finish the thought on Gatilla, it was less that Keaton needed to come out of the game. There's no reason really on a typical day to come out, but really have to get Nick some work. First pitch is high to Waddle. Not as sharp to start this outing, but plenty of time to figure it out. We'll see how long he goes today.
And my guess is you're going to start seeing guys inning by inning at this point, and that's the challenge of midweek.
1-0 pitch in the air, foul, and down the line and right. This will get out of play, and the count will be 1-1. With 1 out, top of the third, Iowa leading Grandview 2-0.
You're going to you need Jack Whitlock to throw an inning. You need Jack Young to throw an inning. You wouldn't mind seeing Aaron Savory get back in there again. You've got a lot of guys that you want to see throw.
1-1 pitch from Gatilla is just high and outside, ball 2.
But when to Coach Heller's point, when you have a tight game, when you keep bringing in a new arm, you need everybody to be on,
right?
And that gets to be a challenge.
Gatilla struggling a bit here. It's 3-1. He's kind of missed high, low, and outside to right-handed hitters.
This is the top of the order here. You don't really want to fool around and get into kind of, we talked about some of the averages on these guys coming up. They can swing the bat.
Iowa leading 2-0. There's a nice pitch from Gatilla right down the middle. It'll be 3-2 with 1 out. Runner on second for the Vikings in the top of the third.
See if Nick can finish up here as he's battled back.
Out of the stretch, checks on the runner at second. The pitch, line drive foul to the right side and out of play. Good battle between Gatilla and Waddle. Doesn't seem like Gatilla's slider's been as sharp in this outing so far, but I trust it at some point. Let's see if he goes with that or the heater. The 3-2, that's high and outside, ball 4.
Went back to that fastball again and just struggling a little bit with release point, it looks like. Just kind of losing it just a touch. And
you get into the territory of pretty good hitters for Grandview, but a ground ball can really get us out of trouble, especially on the middle infield.
And Armstrong kind of topped one to Seegers his first time up, so he hits it just a touch harder to Seegers.
Yeah.
Not too much, just a little.
2 on for the Vikings, top of the third, 1 out. Pitch to Armstrong, that is outside, but called a strike, and it's 0-1.
Got a break there. That's the one that Tello got punched out on. So now we're even on the slightly outside calls.
And that's a tough one too, because I was a backdoor breaking ball. 0-1, hit down the line in right, get foul, it will, towards the Iowa bullpen. 0-2, good job by Gatilla here after a bit of a rocky start with a couple of walks here in the third. He's got Armstrong in a bit of trouble, up in the count 0-2.
And, you know, the free bases on the weekend got a little bit better, and you don't want to keep laying them out there for a team that can hit a little bit.
This one's fouled back to the pad. Just a piece of it from Armstrong. Stay alive at 0-2. Yeah, knock on wood here, but the Vikings don't have a hit, but they do have 3 walks. They haven't really made Grandview earn their base runners to this point.
No, and 2 of those were leadoff walks. Keaton pitched around it. See if Nick has the same luck and success.
0-2 is the count. The pitch from Gatilla, just low and inside. Really good slider there from Nick, but doesn't get the call, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that's a back foot slider that looks pretty good coming all the way across the plate. Armstrong does a nice job holding off on that.
Tallman setting up a bit outside. Pitch from Gatilla. Right down the middle, called third strike, had Armstrong fooled, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, just after seeing that slider, I think he was kind of hoping the same thing. He'd get that and it'd just break away. Instead, it was a fastball, just stayed right there, held its height, and just punched him out.
Now with 2 down, it's Prangy. He struck out in the first. Runners on first and second for the Vikings. First pitch from Gatilla at the knees. Ooh, ball 1.
Boy, that was close.
Yeah, the umpire even looked to his right and kind of flinched a bit like he was going to call it.
I thought he was coming up for the strike call, but did everything but raise the right hand.
Leg kick delivery. There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Good pitch from Gatilla. Shallow left center. Huckstorf giving chase. Peterson moving over, and it's Kyle Huckstorf who will make the catch in left center as those two came together. Look out, full heads of steam there. A couple of runners for Grandview in the third, but no runs to show for it. Iowa leading 2-0. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oakmall, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakmall.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? Oh, no way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen. To draft an agent for your team, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Bottom of the third inning in Iowa City. The Hawkeyes leading the Grandview Vikings 2-0. Iowa coming to the plate with Huckstorf, DeRiggi, and Anthony. New pitcher into the game for Grandview. And the Vikings go with left-handed Jonathan Horn.
3.29 ERA, making his 4th appearance. His previous 3 were starts. He's 1-0, 13 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 9 runs. Just 5 of those were earned, though. He's walked 8, 3 wild pitches, but impressively struck out 19. Opponents hitting just 208 against him, so we'll see how the Hawkeyes do seeing the ball out of this left-hander.
Well, you go from righty to a lefty, right? And then we talk about a new pitcher every inning from our standpoint, from Iowa's standpoint. Got to be a little challenging for the hitters as well. Huckstorf, first pitch swinging down the line in right, getting into foul territory, and it is caught in foul territory for out number 1. It's got to be a challenge for the hitters as well to see a new arm almost every time you come up.
Well, and especially, you know, Iowa is a very detailed, data-driven program, and this has been an unusual game there wasn't a lot of data based on this one, so they've had to kind of improvise. So actually have to trust their eyes for a change. That'll be good.
Back to the old school way of doing it, just showing up and playing, right, without all these statistics that everybody comes up with.
Exactly. No big book. You just got to figure it out.
Iowa figured some things out in the first, plating 2 runs. Scoreless since then, but we're just in the bottom of the third. DeRiggy's the batter. It counts 2-0 to him. Outside, but off the plate, ball 3.
This is one of Coach Heller's emphasis points is, make sure, keep after it. Don't have these long lulls as Durgy takes that outside for ball 4. Don't put 2 on and then take 3 or 4 innings off. Put 2 on and keep pressure on. Even if you don't score, keep pressure on. Hawks had a hit last inning. Now they've got another base runner. So you want to just keep creating traffic, see what you can do.
You can never have too many runs. And you often say it, whatever the score might be early in games, that you doubt it'll stay this way. Anthony's up now, first pitch at the knees, and called a strike, 0-1. And we'd like that to be the case in terms of Iowa's standpoint production, that we don't just score 2 today, right?
Right. Yeah, the likelihood of this game finishing 2-0 is pretty slim.
There it is. That's what I was looking for right there. Now, we'll see what Grandview can do offensively, but you'd like to see the Hawkeyes continue their offensive power. Count is 1-1 to Anthony with 1 out, runner on first. Got his hands going on that one, but hit the red light, slammed on the brakes, and it's 2-1.
Good hold there on the changeup. Just kind of fell out of the zone, missed just out of the bottom of the zone, but about 5-6 miles an hour less. Not a huge difference in the changeup from the fastball.
DeRiggy takes off, and Anthony slaps this one into left. It's caught there. Here comes the throw back to first. It is not in time. DeRiggy is back safely, not doubled up. Anthony sent that into left with a lot of top spin on it, but it got out there in a hurry.
Hawks playing a little hit and run action there with their 3-4 hitters. By the time Brennan got to second base and looked up, and all of a sudden he had to retreat 90 feet in a hurry.
2 down in the Hawkeye third. Figured something was up when you saw DeRiggy take off, right? First pitch to Raider Tello is a breaking ball inside. He lays off 1-0.
We joke about that, but our man down there's got 5 stolen bases on the year, so he doesn't look like a stolen base threat, particularly against a left-hander, but he gets it done.
Tello is all eyes on this one, high and outside, ball 2. Love to see it. Maybe another opportunity to straight steal. We'll see if the Hawks go with something similar with 2 out. Something in the gap could really get DeRiggy a chance to score. 2-0, rip down the line, and fair into the left field corner. DeRiggy rounds second. He's at third. Are they going to send him? No, they're going to slam on the brakes, and it's a double, a 2-out double for Raider Tello. And now 2 in scoring position for Sam Peterson.
Really well played off the wall there by Drill. It bounced kind of straight back off the wall. Didn't get into the corner to rattle around, so Drill was able to get right on it, made a good relay throw, hit his guy right in the number so that he had a chance to turn, and Coach Heller put up the stop sign. I didn't think Durgy saw it right away.
Well, he's had a heck of an adventure on the base pass because he had to get all the way back to first, DeRiggy, and he slid in there. I think he got up a little slow. First pitch to Peterson. That's in there for a strike. First pitch, backdoor breaking ball. We could see something better later in the at-bat. And then DeRiggy's hustling from second to third, thinking he's going, and then he's got to slam on the brakes. He's probably thinking, Coach, you're killing me here.
Yeah, I've scored already. Come on, Coach.
0-1 pitch to Peterson. High fly ball, right side. This will get out of play. Peterson down on the count 0-2 with 2 out there to bring in.
It's one of those guys that has to keep stealing on 3-2 with the guy that keeps fouling off pitches.
Right.
That's what Durgy, the big man, feels like right now.
He stands at third. Tello's at second. 0-2 is the count to Peterson. High, ball 1. 2 down in the Hawkeye third. Iowa leading 2-0.
It almost looked like a scouting report pitch. You could see the catcher kind of flash his glove up high real quick and knew he wanted the fastball up high where Petey could see it.
Peterson off the end of the bat. This one down the line and right again. Right fielder giving chase in foul territory near the wall, and he's got it for the third out of the inning. Well, good job by Horn to get out of the inning, not giving the Hawkeyes any runs. We've played 3 in Iowa City. Iowa 2, Grandview nothing. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
At Mid-American Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at midamericanenergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Top of the 4th inning in Iowa City. The Hawkeyes leading the Grandview Vikings 2-0. We'll go to the bullpen once again. We'll call on Jack Whitlock.
2-0 on the season for Jack. This will be his 4th appearance. He has made 1 start, 3.38 ERA, 2 2/3 innings, given up just 1 hit, 4 runs though. Only 1 of those was earned as he got kind of some bad luck in Lubbock. A couple walks, couple strikeouts. Opponents hitting just a little 111 against him. So Jack's done a nice job. Just needs to make sure he throws strikes and cuts down on those free bases, and he'll be all right.
Well, in 2 of the 3 innings for Grandview so far, they've got on with leadoff walks. So try to break that trend in the top of the 4th.
Hawkeye Baseball is brought to you by Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, home of the Draft Day Sports Lounge, a luxury hotel and spa, 5 restaurants and more, just minutes south of Iowa City.
Well, Whitlock's still going through his warm-up pitches. For Grandview in this inning, it'll be the heart of their order, 4, 5, 6, Brokemeyer, Drill, and Reinhardt.
We talked about Brokemeyer, 418 coming into the game. 3 home runs, 2 home runs, 5 doubles, a couple triples. So really just does a nice job all around.
He drilled one out to right in his first at bat. But
on base percentage up around 500. So
first pitch from Whitlock is a base hit into left field. That wasn't struck that hard. It was off the end of the bat and just in the right spot in between Tello and Seegers on the left side. So the leadoff man on again for Grandview, this time in the 4th.
Yeah, he took that outside curveball, kind of rolled over it a little bit, but seeing eye single gets through. And
sign of a good hitter, right, John?
Well, exactly. You kind of make your own break on some of those, and he certainly did there, and you hit it hard enough that nobody can make a play.
It's Nolan Drill's turn, first pitch. He swings at this one, deep to center, but Huxdorf is camped under it. He's got it for out number 1.
I'll go with the Grandview's not shy and not afraid to swing the bat.
And that's good to see. You're not going to just walk over these guys.
And I guess too, in a bullpen game, it's maybe your philosophy can be a little bit different because you're not really trying to work a pitch count. Hey, I want to get through this starter. The kid's only going to throw an inning, so
only time to see him, right? Because you probably won't see him again when you come up in the 6th, for example.
Correct. So whether he throws 18 pitches or 10 pitches this inning really doesn't matter. If you can make him throw 30, that means you've done something right, but that's not going to be because you took a couple 3-2 pitches.
Brock Reinhardt is the batter. This is on a 1-hop to Seegers at short, to Honar for 1, on to first for 2. Got him, 6-4-3, and that'll do it for the top of the 4th. A quick inning for Jack Whitlock, and the Hawkeyes hold Grandview once again. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Hawkeyes leading 2-0. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Iowa leads Grandview 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Pausing 10 seconds for station ID. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. Well, after a base hit to start the top of the fourth for Grandview, Jack Whitlock gets out of trouble in 4 pitches total in the inning, courtesy of the double play, Seegers, Honar to DeRiggi. And so Iowa looked for some momentum. 7-8-9 in the bottom of the fourth. Honar, Tallman, and Wilmus to add to their 2-0 lead over Grandview. Horn back on the mound for the Vikings. First pitch to Honar is outside, ball 1. Sam struck out his first time up in the second.
We can have a little bit longer RPI discussion later, but early in the year, misses way up high there. Early in the year, it doesn't matter a ton, but we talked about you need the teams you've played to win. Iowa has actually moved up two RPI spots today because misses outside 3-0. Because Quinnipiac beat Yale 1-0 today,
about
so
that?
Iowa moves up a couple spots.
Good job, Bobcats. Way to get it done. 3-0 pitch is outside. A 4-pitch walk to start the fourth inning. Sam Honar, he's on first. Coach had said, well, some of the teams weren't really pulling their weight. I got to be honest with you. I haven't looked back at some of these other teams. I'm not sure who it is that's performing so poorly. I see Quinnipiac with a 6-11 record. K-State looks like they're maybe turning things around at 14-7, but
lost the first series in the Big 12, which you kind of wanted them to they went 1-3 against Baylor, and so obviously you want them to win all of them or as many as they can.
Honar on first. The batter is Tallman. First pitch to him is outside. That's 5 consecutive pitches out of the zone from Horn.
And Hawks get a K-State St. Thomas matchup today, so one of those doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Who gets that one for the Hawks, and then Southern takes on Houston.
1-0 to Tallman is in there for a strike, 1-1. We know that LSU's really good. We know that Texas Tech is really good. Those are maybe a couple of teams that are ahead of us in the rankings.
Yeah, when you look at what Iowa's done so far, the best part, 3-2 so far. Good move over to first. 3-2 so far in quad 1 games because the Indiana State game is actually still a quad 1 win.
Sycamore's doing okay.
Sycamores are doing okay. Played a really tough schedule, so they're kind of holding in that way. But Iowa with the 5 quad 1 games might be more than they had all of last year. So
1-1 to Tallman. He squares to bunt, pulls it back. They'll throw back door on Honar down the line at first. He's back in there safely.
So a pretty big deal there. Sam Houston's kind of messing around there at 103. So they're quad 2, quad 3. But again, you see a lot more movement now than you're going to see a month from now as the games really get shaken out. But the Big Ten's held in there. Their ranking is a little bit better maybe than in years past.
2-1 is low and in. Ball 3 to Tallman. And Horn's missing the zone quite a bit here.
As the conference holds in there right now, it's 6th, which has been last year was kind of 8, 9, 10 range.
Okay.
So a little bit better there.
3-1. Runner takes off for second. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second is tardy. And so Honar steals second. He's out in scoring position for Ben Tallman, who's got a 3-2 count on him. Well, as long as that conference stays up there, top 5 would be nice.
Well, because the important part now is that, once you get into conference play, it's not going to fluctuate a ton. You'll move a little based on how your opponents do, but you're just playing each other at that point.
Yeah.
So
3 balls, 2 strikes, pitch to Tallman, swing and a miss. Went after one a little high in the zone, and he is out number 1. We don't have to go back too far to kind of look at these discussions that we've had about the RPI and teams getting in, teams being left out. Hawkeyes trying to make themselves a no-doubter one way or another. Ben Wilmus is the batter, runner at second with 1 out. Bottom 4, Iowa leading 2-0. Wilmus taking the first pitch, low and in, ball 1.
Well, as we're into the Sweet 16 in March Madness, the equivalent for the Big Ten is probably a high mid-major in terms of baseball. Everybody thinks, it's the Big Ten. It's not as far as baseball is concerned. And so
not based on the skill or talent, but just based on the reputation, right?
Correct.
Wilmus sends this into right center. The center fielder still running back, and he makes a diving catch. Tagging from second to third is Honar, and Wilmus will tip his cap to the center fielder. That's just a great play by Heinen out there. Wow.
Yeah, I was just trying to look real quick. Heinen's from Urbandale and Wilmer's from Johnston, so there might have been. And he's a freshman, and Wilmer's a sophomore, so there might be some history there as well too.
Seegers will come up with 2 outs, runner on third. Bottom of the 4th, Iowa leading 2-0. John, just to finish your thought.
I don't know.
Being the reputation that the Big Ten has.
Well, yeah, and that's how you kind of saw last year with just 2 teams getting in, as Rutgers was a top 10 team in some of the rankings, but then when push came to shove,
Seegers squares to bunt, pulls it back. Honar was about a quarter of the way down the line.
Didn't have the quad 1 wins or the big wins. Maryland was getting a lot of respect, so they were able to get in along with Michigan, but that ended up being it.
1-0 pitch to Seegers, backdoor breaking ball called strike 1-1.
And so you just, hate to keep harping on it, but that's what made that LSU game such a big deal. That's what made the Texas Tech series such a big deal, was so that Iowa could show with a lot of eyeballs that they belong.
Right. 1-1, check swing, and he went around 1-2. Outside corner.
Because I was going to play a Northwestern team in a series whose RPI is in the 270s, 280s.
Do they have a win yet?
I don't. 1, I think. And so you're talking about 3 games that are all going to hurt your RPI, win or lose.
Good eye there from Michael. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And so for Iowa to have some of those others, a solid win against LSU. 1-2 against a really good Texas Tech team in Lubbock.
Yeah.
Those are going to be important when just misses there. Those are going to be important when the selection committee, hopefully, Iowa has a lot of work to do to make them important.
Right.
But they put themselves in a place where they could mean something down the road.
Horn's got the sign that he likes. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, pitch to Seegers. Line back to the screen to the right side. We'll do it again. Honar dances around at third. Iowa leading 2-0, bottom 4.
Iowa's been able to create traffic. You'd like to see them capitalize here. Had a couple runners in scoring position with 2 outs in the last inning. Another one here. Actually had him in scoring position with 1 out, but with 2 outs now, you'd like to see if you can get him in.
Slider floats high and outside. Ball 4 for Michael Seegers, and he'll jog down to first, bringing up Kyle Huckstorf.
There were worse guys than Huck to give an opportunity to.
Yeah, we'll take that. Huckstorf looking for his first hit today. Iowa with 5 as a team. 3 of them came in the first inning. Single and a double since then. First pitch to Huckstorf. Right down the middle for a strike.
Took a little something off that one. It looks like just maybe some sort of little breaking ball, but
see if Kyle barrels one up. Seegers will take second without really a look or a throw from the catcher. So now 2 in scoring position, but Huck's down the count 0-2.
Yeah, they had no interest in making a throw or any type of play.
Didn't even cover it.
Weren't going to play any Hawkeye games there and not going to risk anything there. But now it's up to Huck to deliver.
0-2. That's outside, ball 1.
In some ways, I like the concept. If you get this hitter, nothing matters. As far as what the runners are doing, messing around. So go ahead and just stick to what you're doing and get it out. But the other side is now you've got 2 in scoring position with a single.
1-2. Huckstorf shoots it into center. Center fielder charging hard. It's Heinen, and he's got it. Huckstorf lines out to center. The Hawkeyes will leave a couple in scoring position. We've played 4 in Iowa City. Still 2-0. Hawks with the lead. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy 1 free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
7-8-9 due up for the Vikings in the top of the 5th inning. Iowa leading 2-0. Canny, Lamp, and Heinen will face off against a new Hawkeye pitcher. We'll go with Cade Obermueller.
1-0 on the season. This will be his 6th appearance. He's had a couple starts. 4.70 ERA, 7 2/3 innings. 3 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. He walked 5, struck out 14. And this is kind of the flush of his last appearance after looking really good and getting the win on the Sunday game in Lubbock. Earned a Sunday start, got the Sunday start here against South Dakota State through 18 pitches, and I don't have the math in front of me, but there weren't very many of them that were strikes, and he got the early hook, and it'll be good to get Cade a bounce back here and see if he can find the strike zone and again, kind of flush that one away.
Yeah, he hit a couple batters, walked one, and it just wasn't the Cade that we've come to know in the early season. So we'll see how he responds with some work here today in the 5th. It'll be 7-8-9. Canny leading off. First pitch is a called strike low and in. Good start from Obermueller.
He does have 5 hits batters so far in the season in just those 7 2/3 innings.
The left-hander out of the windup, the 0-1. That is outside, 1-1.
He was a little unlucky at Texas Tech, threw a great backdoor slider and got a guy in the foot. And
yeah,
he's got kind of a 3/4 to almost sidearm delivery, and really slings it across. And sometimes that just loses control coming inside.
That pitch missing just high. It's 2-1. Canny being a power hitter for Grandview, you'd assume that could be in his wheelhouse. Leads the team in home runs, one just off the plate high. Obermueller falling behind, 2-1. The pitch, here it comes. That's low and in, ball 3.
Hey, so just want to see Cade relax, find the zone here. As he steps behind the mound there, takes a deep breath, and that's, gather yourself, as Coach Heller talks about the funnel, the 15-second funnel of focusing on what you need to do.
3-1 pitch, outside corner. Got the edge, 3-2. This can just be a feel-good moment for Obermueller if you start the inning with an out, or is it going to be a walk? Yeah. You're going to have a base runner, you're not going to have a base runner. What's the pressure situation going to be like?
Yeah, the Hawks haven't done a very good job with the leadoff hitter here today.
3-2, this is fouled back.
I think we're 3 of 4 right now, and 2 walks and a single, and so it'd be nice if Cade could kind of change that momentum and start getting out. We talk about strike one all the time, but get out one.
Yep. We'll go again with a full count pitch. Here it comes from Obermueller. Foul tip into the glove. Tallman will grab it, and there is out number 1.
Good job by Tallman to stick with that, get the grab so that kept on top of it. Didn't give Kenny another chance.
The DH, Jeff Lamp.
1 down in the top of the 5th. Let's see a shot at confidence that Obermueller might have.
Well, and you hope that's a boost for him.
Right.
Good battle back, great breaking ball there across for strike 1.
And look at that. You come right back out of the strikeout when you're down in the count. You get this strikeout and you deal a first pitch strike to Jeff Lamp, their designated hitter. 0-1 with 1 out, top 5. Swing and a miss. Went with the same pitch. This time Lamp tried his luck at hitting it and couldn't. 0-2.
Another really good breaking ball, a little bit lower that time, and Lamp swung right over the top of it.
Lefty on lefty matchup. 0-2 is the count. The pitch from Obermueller. That one's just a bit too far outside. 1-2.
Really tried the same pitch again. Instead of just shifting height, he shifted it outside. Lamp with good discipline there stayed away from it and realized I'm going to look a little foolish if I go ripping at that one.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch. There it is. Called third strike. Now he shifted it back to the middle a little bit more, and it was a called strike. Back-to-back Ks for Obermueller. 2 down.
Well, Cade has to be nasty lefty on lefty. He's got that little sidearm delivery. You throw the breaking ball, and that had 16 inches of break on it. He's basically throwing it at the hitter's hip to get that to break all the way into the inside part of the plate.
Batters Brooke Heinen, first pitch, swinging and missing, 0-1.
That's as Obi starts to gain some confidence in what he's doing and really start to pick his spots, kind of understand the movement of it, he's going to be electric.
He's really ripping off the sliders now, 0-2. That one came in the back door and caught the outside half.
Again, another ball with 16 inches of break. So he's starting that well outside. A hitter tends to give up on it, and then all of a sudden it breaks across the outside corner.
This one's hit sharply into the screen to the right. Just going back to the first batter of the inning when he was down in the count, to him 3-1. You think about the dynamic of the inning, how that changes if he walks the leadoff hitter or allows him to get on, and now Obermueller can strike out the side right here. 0-2 is the count. The pitch. Hit foul to the right side again. It remains 0-2.
Well, Obi right now kind of showing the versatility. He snapped off 2 really good breaking balls, 85, 86 miles an hour, catching the outside. And then now Heinen's been really late on 2 95-mile-an-hour fastballs that have painted that outside portion. I think he just breaking ball his back foot here and send him to the dugout.
Just low and outside. Great pitch from Obermueller. Tallman had set up inside a little bit, and Obermueller threw it in the back door, and it was just a touch low right on the corner, but ball 1. I bet if he throws that pitch again, it'll be strike 3.
I think if he goes inside with it, he gets him.
1-2. Ooh, outside, ball 2. Now, Heinen's just got great plate discipline. You just tip your cap to these last couple of pitches because I don't know how he hasn't swung at them. They've been awfully close.
Well, I think you make a business decision that you can't hit it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch from Obermueller. Got him! There he went with the low and inside one that you were calling for, John. And Obermueller strikes out the side in the Grandview 5th. Hawks lead 2-0. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. that knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down, not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Handling all of your exterior needs from roofing, siding, windows, and gutters, they've got you covered. Providing free damage inspections and help filing insurance claims. Call 319-343-6376.
4-5-6 for Iowa in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be DeRiggi, Anthony, and Tello. They'll face off against a new Grandview pitcher. It'll be Jacob Wolver.
Jacob Wolver will be making his 6th appearance of the season, a 4.91 ERA. Does have a save, 7 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 of those were earned. 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. Hit 3 batters. Opponents hitting .250 against him. So,
time for the Hawkeyes to get a few more runs here, John.
Yeah, this is, you got 3, 4, 5 here. Time to add to the pile.
DeRiggi leading things off. First pitch to him, right down the middle, call and strike.
Jake, we saw your tweet that you tagged out to us. Thanks for listening and agreed on your sentiments about the RPI.
Not a fan. No balls, 2 strikes to DeRiggi's. Watch the first couple go by from the Grandview righty. This one's pounded on the ground to the right side and through into right field. A 2-strike leadoff single for Brennan DeRiggi in the Hawkeye 5th.
Good piece of hitting there. Kind of rolled over a tough pitch on the outer half of the plate, but funny enough, had him kind of leaning up the middle, and he was able to roll it over. And, Jake, if you ever get a chance to talk to Coach Heller, if you want to spend 15, 20, 30 minutes, you can get him riled up pretty quick by talking about that.
Well, it just goes to show, LSU is in such a decent spot with their RPI. They've got no place to go except for down, really, if they don't just win every game. But just as we've mentioned, just by playing games, if you're going to lose points, that just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, and the challenge for Iowa, and it's
1-0 pitch to Anthony's in the dirt. DeRiggi takes off for second. There's the throw, and a good job by DeRiggi to advance on a great read on the downward angle on the pitch to Anthony, 2-0.
He is so heads up on the base paths of getting good jumps on those balls that just barely sneak away from the catcher. But
it's been playing for a while, the 5th year.
Yeah, exactly. That's good experience, and now on the single, he knows he doesn't have to run from first base back and forth again.
He's been getting his cardio in today. Big lead at second. 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch to Anthony, outside corner, 2-1. I'm pretty certain that Keaton's glad he didn't swing at that. That's a hard pitch to do anything with.
Oh, 100%.
Wolver looks in for the sign. He's got it. Comes set. Long pause. 2-1 to Anthony. That's too far outside. Not a strike. 3-1.
When we talk about the midweek games for Iowa, you think about who are your opponents within a 3 or 4 hour drive that can get here, and so Iowa ends up playing Coe and Loris and Grandview because they actually
3-1 hit down the line, foul into the Hawkeye bullpen in right, and the count's full.
Because they actually don't hurt Iowa's RPI because they don't count for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa this weekend in that series, whether they won or lost the game, they were going to lose RPI points. And so with the way the system works, it's to Iowa's benefit to play a good team like Grandview.
Anthony draws the walk on the full count pitch. First and second with nobody out, here's Raider Tello.
Even though it does nothing for them from a pure RPI perspective, just because, again, you can't, when you look around again, you kind of put a pin of who's going to be willing to drive and play a midweek game here, especially, we postponed a day because of weather. It's just really difficult to get a lot of commitment on that.
Raider Tello is the batter with 2 Hawkeyes on base. First pitch to him is low and outside. Ball 1. Tello today Struck out in the first, but doubled in the third. Double would do the Hawks a lot of good right now. Bottom 5, leading Grandview 2-0.
Test Keaton Anthony's wheels from first on a double.
That? A lot of room in left center. Pitch to Tello on the ground to the left side, gloved by the third baseman. Flipped to second for one, on to first. Not in time there. And so Anthony's out at second. DeRiggi is over there at third now, and Tello is at first.
Good stop from Bruckemeyer on not a great throw, and he kind of got stretched out and had to stick with it and make sure he blocked it and didn't let that ball scoot away and give DeRiggi a chance to score from third.
And so now Sam Peterson, who's had a nice run here the last few games, he comes up with runners on first and third, and the Hawkeye 5th. Iowa was 6 hits, but just 2 runs. First pitch to Petey, swing and a miss. That was a good pitch from Wolver right there. A lot of downward action, and he kind of threw that almost sidearm in there, and it bumped up and then cut down.
Okay, really good breaking ball there, and 20 inches of slide to it. It's a really good movement.
0-1 is tapped foul towards the Grandview dugout down the third base line.
And Petey's still hitting 0 for 2 today, but still hitting .305 on the season. 3 home runs, had the big one on Sunday.
He's down in the count, 0-2. Wolver's ready, and the pitch. Tails outside, ball 1.
Good take there. Really slow breaking ball. Petey saw it well, held up.
This one's tapped in front of the plate. It'll go foul now. That had a lot of spin on it, as it was right in front of the plate and then kicked foul down the first baseline.
A nice job there, though. We saw a play like that happen this weekend with Michael Seegers where the ball bounced in front of the plate. Michael didn't get out of the box. Catcher did a great job jumping out and was able to just tag him out without even a throw. So good job by Petey to at least get moving just in case.
1-2 from Wolver. Lifted in the air down the right field line. First baseman Brokemeyer gives chase near the half wall, and it'll get out of play.
That would have made for an interesting play. If he'd have caught that kind of with his back to home plate and leaning over the wall, I think that would have given DeRiggi an awfully good chance to tag up, even though the first baseman would have been the one to make the play.
Right. Would not have been a traditional sacrifice fly, right?
No, but Petey, take it as a hitter. You save yourself the at-bat and get an RBI out of it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. That's low and outside. Ball 2.
Really well done from Petey. Fouled off some good pitches and was able to lay off the 2 that Wolver tried to get him to chase.
Two, far outside. Ball 3. That's good discipline there by Peterson, because that was a breaking ball that started as a strike.
He pretty much split the catcher. He was just set up outside, and so he missed the plate. It looks like a strike because he hits the catcher in the chest, but it was outside.
3-2, driven into left center. This one will get down for a base hit. DeRiggi will score. Tello racing for third. He's there safely, and it's an RBI double for Sam Peterson. Hawks lead 3-0.
Really, really good at bat from Sam. He just stuck, got behind in the count early, but didn't chase when the pitches were set up. Fouled off some other good pitches, and then finally got one that he could drive somewhere. And actually, that was a pretty good pitch as well, low and outside, and Petey kind of topspin drove it out to left center field. I thought maybe the center fielder would have a play, but it just kept moving away from him and got down.
I thought it was hit a little bit deeper, and so that the center fielder would have had a play on it, and then it dropped in front of him. First pitch to Honar. This one's in the gap in right center. Center fielder giving chase. It's over his head. Off the wall. Honar racing around second. Might try for 3. 2 runs are in. Here comes the throw. No throw to third. And Honar clears the two base runners that are out there. Tello scores. Peterson scores. Hawks up 5-0 on the triple from Honar.
Honar was full speed all the way. That ball's right out in front of him. He can see it. Good piece of base running there. Knew the center fielder was tracking it out. Knew the second baseman had tracked a long ways out. So Sam just kept green lighting all the way around. Hustled into third.
Just one out in the Hawkeye fifth. Iowa's plated 3 runs so far against Wolver. He'll go back to the windup with a runner on third. Tallman squares to bunt, puts it down to the pitcher. The pitcher will only have a throw to first as Honar has scored on the safety squeeze. 6-0.
Heck of a bunt from your catcher there again. We see Cade Moss do that every once in a while. Ben Tallman with a really good bunt there. Drives in the run.
Yeah, execution top to bottom. And that'll be an RBI for Tallman. He is out at first.
Hawkeye hitters 6 extra base hits of their 8 hits on the game.
It's Ben Wilmus now against his high school teammate Jacob Wolver. First pitch into Wilmus is a strike on the inner portion of the plate. Iowa leading 6-0 now in the bottom of the fifth, trying to break this one open. Out of the windup pitch. That is a called strike on the outside corner. Wilmus down to the count 0-2.
Hawkeyes had left a couple runners on in both the third and the fourth inning. Had done a much better job this time capitalizing and getting those runs across.
0-2 to Wilmus. Outside, ball 1.
Good sharp breaking ball there. Just started it outside. And again, Wilmus showed good discipline to stay away from it.
1-2. Ripped right to the shortstop. Caught by Armstrong. Wilmus got a hold of it, but sharp line drive, and that's the third out of the inning. We've played 5 at Duane Banks this afternoon. Hawkeyes lead 6-0 after putting 4 runs up on the board. Back for the 6th. You're listening to Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oaknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Some more insurance, some more runs across for the Hawkeyes. They come in the bottom of the fifth. 4 for Iowa. The Hawkeyes lead Grandview 6-0. As we get to the top of the 6th, new Hawkeye pitcher Aaron Savory. Good to see Sav get a run here.
Second appearance for Sav as he pitched against Coe. Gave up a run on 2 hits. Struck out 2. Probably the worst part of that outing for him was he gave up that double to a former high school teammate. So he got the best of him. I asked him in Lubbock when we were shagging balls. I'm like, did he give you any grief for that? And he's like, oh yeah.
I can't imagine that those conversations are pleasant. I wouldn't want a teammate or a friend of mine getting the best of me on the college level. But that's been a time ago. So Sav's been able to move on. And it's good to see him back out there for the Hawkeyes. Tall right-handed pitcher for Iowa. And a big inning for the Hawkeyes offensively in the 5th. So we'll look for Savory to hold Grandview scoreless in the 6th. It'll be the top of their order. Waddle will lead things off after Obermuller, who was the last Iowa pitcher, struck out the side in the 5th.
Yeah, and these are, we talk about for all of these guys that are coming in. You heard Coach McGrath talk to you about it in pregame. These are important outings for these guys, trying to get their work. Good pitch, swing and a miss there for strike 1. But you're trying to get their work in and trying to prove they deserve a spot. Hey, you can trust me on the weekend if the time comes.
Savary has Waddle totally fooled to begin this at bat. It's 0-2. Savary will pitch out of the windup. He went with the first pitch, two-seamer sinker, real hard at 90, then goes with an 82-mile-an-hour off-speed. The 0-2 is on its way home. Check swing, didn't go. Went with a breaking ball low and outside, ball one.
I just overthrew that curveball a little bit, but good pitch. Tried to start it on the outer half and break it away, and just again stepped over it just a touch.
Wind up in the 1-2. Just low and outside, ball two.
92-mile-an-hour fastball there. Tried to dot the knees on the outer corner and just missed.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Savary's pitch on the way home. This one's drilled into right. Wilmus giving chase. He's got it on the run. In the gap, one away. In the Grandview 6th.
Good job there from Ben to run down that ball.
Shortstop.
Hasn't spent a ton of time in the outfield, but a good play there. Read it off the bat. Got a good jump.
2-hitter Camden Armstrong stands in. Struck out his last time. First pitch from Savary is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1.
It's got to be fun for Armstrong. This is from just down Highway 6 in Tiffin, getting to play in front of probably some family and friends.
He's worked a 1-1 count. Armstrong is a senior, spent some time at Ellsworth Community College. 1 ball, 1 strike. Savary's pitch on its way home. That's just outside, ball 2.
Yeah, got a good mix on the Grandview roster. A lot of Iowa kids, some Minnesota kids, Illinois. As you might expect, a lot of Midwestern talent.
Counts 2-2 after this one's fouled back to the screen. Been impressed with Savary's outing. Obviously been getting some work in between his outings, right? But to come in a game setting and look good so far. Half swing on the ground to the right side. Honar will pick it up. Savary's covering. Does a great job there. 2 down.
The rare 4-1 put out there. Nice job. Again, that's one of the things you wonder about with guys that haven't spent a ton of time on the mound. How are they going to do with fundamentals? Sometimes you see a pitcher sit there and watch that one, and then all of a sudden there's nobody at first base, and it's a cheap single. Because as Durighi tried to show good range, couldn't quite get it. But Savary didn't take that for granted.
First pitch to Corey Prangy is on the outside corner for a strike. I think pitchers are probably taught, hey, anything on the ground to the right side, you at least got to get halfway over there, right?
Hey, just because you're taught that doesn't mean you do that.
That's right, yeah. Nothing in 1 pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. Yeah, but Savary sharp and remembering what he was taught, executing it, and getting over there. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. Outside, ball 2.
I think what I've liked from Aaron so far is just he's been around the strike zone. Obviously, the pitch before this was a little out of there, but for the most part, they've been competitive pitches and chances for the batter to swing at them.
This is lined sharply, fouling out of play towards the football practice facility on the left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another thing, just to add to your point, he looks confident out there, right?
Well, it's been a good mix. It's like, boy, it's not that I'm afraid to throw this pitch. It's all 3 of his pitches.
2-2s hitting to the Iowa dugout, just above it to the right side. We'll do it again.
Hey, here's the fastball. Here's my curveball. Here's the slider, and showing confidence in throwing any of those for strikes right now.
Savary working out of the windup, the 2-2. This is ripped down the right field line for a base hit. Prangy around first, headed for second. Great throw from Wilmus at second, but he's safe.
Really well done from Prangy to basically just have the green light the whole way there, but Wilmus with a fantastic throw from the right field corner there, put it right on the money. Maybe if he can he can get it there just a split second sooner, then maybe Seegers can catch it in front of the slide and he gets him. But, boy, that's turned that into a close play, and I wasn't sure it was going to be.
Yeah, I agree with you. Great effort and hustle from Wilmus to make it close at second. Just the second hit of the game for Grandview in the top of the sixth. Iowa leading 6-0. This is hit on the ground to short. Seegers has got it. He'll step and throw for the third out of the inning. Hawks lead 6-0. Bottom of the sixth coming up. You're listening to Iowa Baseball on Learfield.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skoglund Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. The Hotel Kirkwood, named the Corridor Business Journal's 2022 Best Banquet and Event Venue. And awarded the AAA 4-Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatkirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
Bottom of the sixth inning, Iowa on top of Grandview, 6-0. Be the top of the order leading things off with Michael Seegers. A new pitcher for Grandview into the game right now, Cade Armstrong. He was their shortstop. And he'll come in to pitch now. He's a almost submarine-style pitcher, left-hander. Goes with the sidearm delivery. Armstrong making his 8th appearance. He's 2-0 on the season with a 3.46 ERA. He's got 1 save, 13 innings pitched. Struck out 9, walked 2. So the submarine sidearm pitcher is around the strike zone most of the time. He's just got 2 walks on the season. Seegers will kick things off in the bottom of the sixth. First pitch. Michael squares to bunt, pulls it back. It's a changeup called strike, 0-1. Next one is off the end of the bat into left. It is down for a base hit. Falls in front of the left fielder Drill. I think that ball just died when it got to the outfield. Landed just a couple feet in front of Drill, but I think he thought it was going to carry to him a little bit more.
Well, we've talked about some of the 100-mile-an-hour exit velocities. Michael left that one at 67. So little change up there off the end of the bat to the outfield and caught the benefit of it.
Probably didn't feel great.
No, it's not that warm to feel.
First pitch to Kyle Hucksdorf, low and outside for a ball.
I saw this pitcher warming up down in their area down there, and I kind of thought he was just trying to shake his arm loose, but he really does kind of bring the funky sidearm delivery to it.
On the ground to third, flip to second on a hop, and the out is made at second base. You got no throw over at first, but Waddle goes to Prangy for the first out of the inning. I made a mistake. Cade Armstrong. I was looking at the wrong Armstrong. They got 2 Armstrongs on their team. And Cade, the pitcher right now, he was not their shortstop earlier.
Yeah, Camden.
Right. First pitch to DeRiggi, hits him in the leg. And so DeRiggi will jog on down to first. Had to get that right between the 2 Armstrongs that are coming in. I saw this left-hander submarine guy. I don't know if that could be their shortstop. The guy that was playing shortstop earlier, it's not.
If you're going to get hit by a pitch, get hit by a 63-mile-an-hour
floater.
Yeah, floater, we'll call that one.
DeRiggi didn't make much of an effort to get out of the way of it. Didn't lean into it, though. Here's Keaton Anthony, first pitch to him, low and outside corner, strike 1.
Ish.
Yeah. Runners on first and second for Iowa, bottom 6, leading 6-0. Runners are going, and Anthony fouls this off to the right side, visibly frustrated that he couldn't put that one into play with the runners in motion.
72 miles an hour there. So, I mean, it's timing up takes a little bit different. And, again, it's a weird arm angle, and he does have a lot of movement on the ball, so you really have to see it and track it well.
It's either going to come back to the inside or it's going to drop low, right, with a left-handed submarine-style pitcher. Either the ball's going to come in and drop or come in and keep coming to right-handed hitters.
Yeah, I would think gravity's going to cause it to be kind of a pretty good back foot curveball.
Anthony rips this into the left center gap. It is down and to the wall. Huckstorf will jog in from second. Here comes DeRiggi. They're going to send him. The throw home is not in time. DeRiggi beat it, and a couple of runs score for the Hawkeyes on a 2 RBI double from Keaton Anthony.
Boy, umpire, on-deck batter, catcher, nobody did DeRiggi any favors there as the bat was laying in the right-handed batter's box as he tried to avoid the catcher and head first slide around and then avoid the bat.
And he did not do a good job avoiding that bat either as he dove for home plate and kind of rolled right over it. Anthony at second. First pitch to Tello comes in for a strike on the inside corner. Hawks lead 8-0, bottom 6.
66-mile-an-hour changeup.
Takes an eternity to get there. Tello slaps this foul to the right side, now to play 0-2.
I think that's probably why you saw in the top or in the Anthony at bat, why you saw the two runners go is you pick a good pitch, maybe a little slow on delivery, and then not zinging it up to the catcher. You got a little bit of time to get to the base.
0-2 is outside for a ball.
We were tracking the Iowa women this weekend and their Sweet 16. Did you hear me tell you I almost dumped you this weekend to go to Seattle?
You didn't tell me that. That would have been news to me. There's a base hit to right field for Raider Tello. Anthony rounds third. He'll score. Here comes the throw into second. Tello beat it out. And so it's a double for Raider. And another run is in for the Hawkeyes in the 6th, 9-0 now.
Really good hustle there from Raider. Again, the ball's right out in front of him. He can see it in right center field the whole way. Sprinting right out of the box gave him a chance. And, of course, Sarsfield pinch hit now.
Well, we've seen Iowa today. They've really hit the gaps well. Made a lot of solid contact, but that's not new for Iowa offensively. It's just the placement of the ball. And so far, the Hawks have been hitting the gaps with a number of extra base hits.
8 extra base hits now on 11 total hits. So really good job. And some of those are effort. So.
And we'll have a quick mound visit from Grandview. In the time being, Iowa leading 9-0, bottom 6. We'll see Coy Sarsfield here in just a minute. In fact, it looks like we'll have a pitching change for the Vikings. So we'll take a pitching change break here in the bottom of the 6th at Dwayne Banks in Iowa City. Iowa leading Grandview 9-0. Back after this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
All right, pitching change for Grandview. They'll go with right-hander Zach Neese, who's into the game. Iowa leading 9-0.
2-0 on the season, thrown 5 innings, has not given up a hit or a run, walked 1, struck out 2. So nice job from Zach so far on the year. Hawk fans, experience your home away from home at Coralville's finest all-suite hotels. Homewood Suites and Home to Suites by Hilton each offer guests spacious suites, complimentary breakfast, 24-hour fitness center, pool, hot tub, guest laundry, and convenient locations. Let their warm and friendly staff take care of you and your family when you visit Hawkeye Country.
He's still going through his warm-up pitches. All right, our midweek game just about wrapped up here today. We got Western Michigan coming in this weekend. Last non-conference look before we get into Big Ten play. Boy, you think about it, if you can fast forward a bit through that, assume you take care of business today, 16-3, and you get close to 20 wins headed into Big Ten play. That'd be about as good as you can be.
You wouldn't throw that start back for sure.
Right. Tello's at second. Coy Sarsfield's the batter. First pitch is outside for a ball. And this pitcher in Nice throws about 15 miles per hour more than the last guy the Hawkeyes saw. 1 out in the inning. 1-0 pitch is outside. Ball 2.
Yeah, Sarsfield looking for his first hit on the season. It's looked good in the at-bats, just hasn't been able to turn it into positive statistics yet.
He's got an advantageous count now. Long pause in the pitch. Outside. Nice has missed outside on every single one. 3-0.
Yeah, low 80s in the fastball, but just it's just kind of coming right over the top and just pulling it over there into the left-handed batter's box.
There it is for a strike on the outside corner. Sarsfield taking the whole way.
All right, Coy, get on one now and find some grass.
Yeah. He's got a lot of pop in his bat. 3-1.
Ooh, my
Called
goodness.
strike on the outside corner of the plate, 3-2.
Wow.
Another opportunity for Coy to swing it.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. Nice is ready. And a pause. Another long pause. The pitch. Fouled back to the screen. He's taking all those 20 seconds, isn't he, John?
Yeah, we don't have a clock, but
that had to be 19.9.
Yeah, we were patiently waiting on that one. There's been a couple ways that Coy probably should be walked down to first by now.
Iowa leading 9-0, bottom 6. 3-2 pitch to Sarsfield. Down the line in right. This one's hooking foul, and it will be just foul. Down the line there. We'll do it again at 3-2.
Good job of sticking with that. Nice really hasn't been able to bring the ball, hasn't come to the inner portion of the plate at all. Everything has been outer half or just out.
On the barrel if he's not careful, right?
Well, and that's, Coy's sticking with it. If he's able to just kind of, just line it a little bit more. He was right on the pitch before that one. See if he can time this one up a little bit better.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Once again, pitch to Sarsfield. That's high. Ball 4. Wow, Coy really wanted to go after that one, but it wouldn't have been a smart decision, and instead he'll walk. He's on base.
Well, I'm not sure I blame him after the 3-1 strike, so you kind of think about expanding the zone a little bit, and we'll have Gable Mitchell now to get a chance to pinch hit.
Mitchell comes in the 6th for Honar. You just kind of assume here that Sarsfield will go into left and Mitchell will go in at second. Switch hitter, he'll stand in from the left side. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Mitchell squares the bunt and pulls it back because the pitch is outside, ball 1.
And Gable's still trying to find his way at the plate just a little bit as the season goes along. He's probably a plus defender and still working his way at the plate.
Once again, a long pause from Neese, and this is up and in, and Mitchell got a piece of it with his bat, and it's 1-1. He went to bunt it again. I think Coach Heller wants him to swing it.
Don't do that again.
Yeah. Well, Mitchell was almost in self-defense mode there with the bat, and good thing he had that in his hand, I guess. 1 ball and a strike. Third baseman playing even with the bag. I'd be surprised to see if Mitchell squares to bunt again. The pitch on the ground to the first baseman. He'll step on the bag for a second out. He didn't have a play anywhere else. But Mitchell grounds out and advances the runners to second and third.
Turns out to be just as good as the sac bunt he was trying to put down, other than it cost him an at-bat instead. But it does the purpose, and I'll give Ben Tallman a chance to drive in a couple runs.
Iowa leading 9-0 over Grandview. Bottom 6. Hawks with 11 hits. Iowa can get into double digits with a base hit from Ben Tallman right now.
Ben drove in a run in his last at-bat.
First pitch, breaking ball. Drops below the knees, ball 1.
Yeah, Ben had been Brody's catcher, and then when Brody got shuffled around, the catching duties got shuffled around, so Ben's trying to jam his way back into the rotation as he fouls that one straight back.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, Tallman and Moss, they weren't exactly splitting it. Moss would usually take 2 in the series or the weekend, and then Tallman would get that middle day with Brody. But we'll have to see how things play out moving forward. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 in scoring position for the Hawkeyes here in the 6th. 1-1 pitch is low and away from Tallman, 2-1.
Cade's done such a nice job with his bat that you want more playing time. Obviously handling the pitchers, especially with some of the velocity that the pitchers have, is important. But you can really differentiate yourself with that bat.
2-1, outside corner, called strike 2-2.
And that was a guy like Ben getting that bunt down in his last at bat, driving in a run, doing his job.
Huge.
Doing what was asked is how, so the coaches trust you is how you're going to get more time.
2's on the board for Tallman. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on for him as well. The pitch. This is low and outside again, ball 3. Neese is trying to go with that breaking ball, but I think he's missed it low and outside every time.
Ben getting a good stretch because, 6 innings of catching hasn't got him stretched out yet there at the plate. So.
Spent some time outside of the box. Now he's back in it. Moves the bat above his right shoulder. 3-2 is outside for ball 4, and Wilmus will come up now with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
And Ben's been a hard luck. I think he singled his first at bat, but then great play by the center fielder on a diving catch and absolutely destroyed one right at the shortstop. Yep. So if Ben can kind of keep that momentum going and find some green, he'll be all right.
Bases loaded and 2 outs. Pitch to Wilmus. That's outside, ball 1.
And obviously there's a little bit of depending on how long Chase is out, you've got, Braden and Ben that are going to kind of battle it out for that right field spot for a little bit, or share it at least, and another way to put your stamp on it.
This one will clip the corner, the outside, 1-1. And just kind of surprised that Neese is, maybe he's just an outside type of pitcher, but he hasn't made the adjustment at all to bring anything to the inside.
No, not in the least on any of the hitters.
1-1. That's inside, almost hit Wilmus. He stood in there. He's right on cue, right?
As he slid off the curve, tried to snap the curveball, and it just kind of floated there. Had really no movement.
I don't think he meant to do that.
I don't think so. Yeah, no, that was not plan A for him.
2 balls and a strike to Wilmus. Outside, ball 3.
Every fastball he's tried to throw, though, has been just kind of over the top and that little bit of a pull into that, generally speaking, into the left-handed batter's box.
Like to see Ben get a chance to put one in play. 3-1, swing and a miss. Well, he brought that one in for a strike, and Ben offered at it and missed it. Counts full, runners will be going.
Ben wanted to see Ben get a chance to put one in play there.
Threw that high and just a touch on the outer half. Runners will get going. The 3-2. Ben pops it up shallow center. The center fielder Heinen calls off his right fielder, and he's got it for the third out of the inning. The Hawks score 3 in the bottom of the 6th, leading 9-0 over Grandview. We're back for the 7th right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
Top of the 7th inning in Iowa City, the Hawkeyes leading the Grandview Vikings 9-0. A few changes and substitutions that we'll get to in just a minute. But first, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. So let's start with the defensive substitutions. At second is Gable Mitchell. Out in left is Coy Sarsfield. The new center fielder for Iowa is Braden Frazier. Everything else remains the same with the exception of the new pitcher into the game for Iowa in Chaz Wheatley. Oh, I missed one. Yes, Blake Guerin at first base. Blake is into the game at first.
And Garrick's behind the plate.
And Garrett Christensen's catching. So I missed a couple. All right. Well, we got him now. New pitcher for Iowa's Chaz Wheatley.
Well, and Garrick, I didn't see Garrick until the last minute either.
How do you miss that guy? How did I miss him?
Well, yeah, how you missed the mayor down there at first base, I'm not sure. But Chaz Wheatley's making his second appearance on the season. He threw an inning in his first appearance, gave up a couple hits, a walk, struck out a batter, and did not allow a run. He gets a swing and a miss there on his first pitch.
Nolan Drill is the batter. He's 0 for 2 today. Iowa leading 9-0 in the 7th. A one pitch from Wheatley. Hit softly to Tello at third. He's going to have to hurry. Picks it up, throws it, got him. One down.
Good gun across the diamond there. Helps to have a 6'6" first baseman.
Yeah.
You have to really work hard to overthrow Blake.
Yeah, you'd have to really misfire.
I'm not saying I didn't back in the day, that I couldn't have missed the 6'6" first baseman, but these guys do a pretty good job of not doing that.
That's why we're up here, right, John? First pitch strike from Wheatley. Brock Reinhardt is the batter. He's grounded out twice. One resulted in a double play that the Hawkeyes turned back in the 4th. A one pitch on its way home, right down the middle. Wheatley looks good for Iowa out of the bullpen right now. 0-2 is the count.
What Iowa's done too. It's kind of been right, left, right, left, right, left.
This one's hit down the line and left, though, and it's trouble, and it is one hopping off the wall. Misplayed a bit by Sarsfield. It'll be a one-out double for Reinhardt, just the third hit of the game for Grandview. Wow, he got a hold of that one and into the corner. Couldn't have hit that any more to the left, otherwise it would have been foul.
No, and that was a really good pitch, low and outside. Kind of dotted the low outside corner, but just a good piece of hitting to stick with it, drive it off the base of the wall. Sarsfield misplaying it didn't really do any harm, as he was going to be at second anyway, but it ricocheted off the wall and got past him, but came back toward the field.
First real adversity for the pitching staff today for Iowa as Wheatley starts off canny with an outside called strike.
Yeah, I think there was second and third in the first inning on Keaton, but been pretty quiet for the most part. Done a good job limiting free bases and throwing strikes for the, most importantly, good competitive strikes.
I think Wheatley's thrown all strikes. He's 0-2 on Canny. I'll try to finish the deal. Comes set, the pitch. That's outside. Christensen slides over to grab it. It's 1-2. Wheatley, like Savory for the most part, saw some action early. He's been kind of in and out the last couple times. This gets away from Christensen to the backstop, and so Reinhardt will advance to third. This is just Wheatley's second appearance.
Yeah, that'll probably go as a wild pitch, but one that you really want to see Christensen block.
And we have seen him block it, too.
It is a pass ball, so just kind of went right through the 5-hole there.
Runner on third and 1 out. Pitch from Wheatley. Hit foul to the right side. We'll do it again at 2-2.
Yeah, I think to your point now, first time that Grandview's had a runner on third with less than 2 outs. So see if Chaz can buckle up here and keep the shutout intact.
Taking his time, the pitch inside, and it's ball 3. Count is full. On the ground, right back up the middle. The run will score. Seegers scoops and throws for out number 2. It is an RBI for Connor Canny. He grounds out, but Grandview's got their first run of the game. It comes in the top of the 7th, Iowa leading 9-1.
A little tough luck there from Wheatley as he throws a really good pitch. Got a mound visit here, and we'll get a pitching change.
So that'll do it for Chaz Wheatley. The Hawks will go to the bullpen, bring in a new pitcher with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Jeff Lamp will be the hitter. We'll get to the new pitcher in just a moment. We'll be back after this pitching change break. Iowa leading 9-1. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy 1 free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs, but what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately, then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
The new pitcher for Iowa in the top of the 7th is Drew Proskovic. He comes into the game with 2 outs. Iowa leading 9-1.
Drew making his second appearance. He threw an inning, got a strikeout in his only other appearance. I think if I remember right, I was hassling him because I think he had one of those clean innings where he threw about 8 pitches. Like, man, you make your career debut and you only get to throw 8 pitches.
Get in and out super fast.
Like, I know you don't want to give up a bunch of hits, but spend some time out there, savor it, enjoy it a little.
Well, we'll see how many outs he has to get. It'd be just 1 to get out of this inning, and you'd probably think that there are a number of Hawkeyes getting loose in the bullpen down there, so Proskovic could be just in to get 1 out. First pitch, swing and a miss by Lamp.
I think Hawkeye coaching staff taking advantage of, the lefty and lefty matchup here. Go ahead and make the change and let him get an out in a situation that he might get called on in the Big Ten. This is a spot where you could get a weekend call and say, hey, I need you to come in and get an out for me.
1 ball, 1 strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-2. We haven't really seen that too much this year, where a guy comes in to just get one guy, just get one batter. That's what the situation is right here for Proskovic. The 1-2 way outside. Christensen with a good job to go over there and get it.
It's funny, some of these left-handers' deliveries you think are unique, and then you look at the Iowa left-handers, and they all have a little bit of a sidearm sling to them and make it really hard to hit, and that's what makes this matchup difficult.
Counts now full, 3-2. I'll come in and do a job here, Drew.
Yeah, you got to go get the 8-hitter here.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on. The pitch, up and in, ball 4.
I doubt Coach Heller wants to make another change, but you might see him go back to the other righty. But
Heinen is up as a right-handed hitter. You see some movement in the bullpen down there, down the right field line, and one of the coaches grabs a walkie-talkie, so Proskovic will stay in for now. First pitch to Heinen is low and outside. Runner takes off for second. Throw down is in time. They got him. Christensen, yes.
Really well done, because that batter gave him no ground in the batter's box at all. Christensen picks it up, slings it down there, gets the out.
So we'll stretch things out at Duane Banks. Grandview, they score 1 in the top of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Iowa leading 9-1. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
To find an agent near you, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Bottom of the 7th, Iowa leading Grandview 9-1. New pitcher for Grandview is Mondre Legao. He'll come into the game.
Be his 4th appearance on the year. He's got a 9 ERA. He's thrown 3 innings, given up 5 hits, 3 runs, walked 3, struck out 5. Opponents hitting .333 against him.
So able to put the ball in play. He's a right-handed pitcher. And it'll be the top of the order for the Hawkeyes, due up in the bottom of the 7th. Going to probably see our last look at the Hawkeye hitters this afternoon, these next couple of innings, leading 9-1.
You get Seegers, you get Frazier's first appearance, you get Guerin's first appearance.
Yeah, Frazier's on deck. Yeah, you're right. So Seegers in his primary role as the leadoff man, this time coming in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch strike from the Grandview pitcher. 0-1, that's way high. Ball 1.
The acrobatic play there by the catcher to snag that one.
That was a breaking ball, wasn't it? That was way up and in.
I believe so.
1 ball and a strike to Seegers. Here it comes. That's outside, ball 2.
I think that was Rocky Lutz who checked in. He's a the new catcher.
This is when it gets kind of tricky, doesn't it?
Yeah, they start sneaking guys in on us, too.
Yeah.
And we've talked about how those catchers are hard because the chest protector,
the back strap kind of
comes right across that number, makes it hard to notice all the time. And we don't always recognize the opposing team players as well either.
3 balls and a strike to Michael Seegers, the Iowa shortstop. Out of the windup, the pitch. That is low and outside, ball 4. Seegers will sprint down to first. And we'll see Braden Frazier for the first time today.
Braden started the year hot. He's cooled off a little bit, hitting .241 now. 3 doubles and a home run on the season.
One of the team captains. Like we mentioned, not sure how long Chase Mosley will be sidelined, and so you just expect Frazier and Wilmus to maybe alternate or battle for that position in right.
Well, I think hot battle win.
Yep. First pitch to Frazier is outside for a ball. Seegers stands on first. Quick check over on him. Iowa leading 9-1, bottom 7.
Legal threw a fastball over the first base. That was pretty good.
Zip to it. Frazier watches this pitch, and it's downstairs for another ball. Missing upstairs now, 3-0. Nobody really getting loose in the Grandview bullpen as their current pitcher has just kind of been all over the place.
Yeah, he's had trouble getting finding the strike zone. They do have a guy down there. He's behind the pole there. He might not be able to. I can only see the catcher catching. I can't see the guy throwing.
Yeah, you're right. They do have somebody throwing. The one place where you can't see but behind that pole out there, and that's where they're getting loose in the bullpen.
But yeah, if he doesn't start to find the zone, they may need to make a telephone call.
3-0 pitch. There it is on the outside corner. 3-1. See if Frazier can get something to hit here.
First one, he really hasn't tried to overthrow, so better job there of just relaxing and finding the strike zone. See if Braden can do something now.
That's inside for ball 4, a little bit high too. And so back-to-back walks to lead off the 7th. We'll have a mound visit for Grandview. Iowa leading 9-1.
University of Iowa Healthcare has the game plan for your same-day healthcare needs. If you need treatment for a common illness or minor injury, visit one of several U of I quick care or urgent care locations throughout the Iowa City-Cedar Rapids corridor. Their care and expertise will help you get back in the game. U of I Healthcare is proud to sponsor your Iowa Hawkeyes.
Mound visit still taking place for Grandview. Blake Guerin will get an at-bat for the Hawkeyes in the bottom of the 7th. A couple of runners on for Iowa.
Oh, hey, very excited to see the guy in the on-deck circle, Will Mulfleur. He's been out kind of rehabbing, trying to get healthy. I talked to him Sunday before the game. He said he was really close, and so good to see him. Good to see him in the on-deck circle.
The return. Before we get to him, we'll have Blake Guerin. Stands in from the right side. First pitch is a called strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1.
Blake has a taller strike zone than most, so you can get that high strike a little easier with him.
That one's a bit too high, and it's 1-1.
Testing the theory.
Yep.
What is the upper limit of that zone? Nope,
stretch it.
That's a little too high.
Missed it. A ball and a strike to Guerin. Here it comes. It's too low. Ball 2. This is one of those situations as a hitter where you're not green, red. You're a lot of yellow right here because unfortunately the Grandview pitcher just struggling to find the zone a bit.
But you've got to be ready and find this. If you see it in the tunnel you want, you've got to do that.
Yeah, Guerin skies it in the air, shallow left. Could play some tricks out there on the outfielders. The left fielder will slide and make the catch. for the first out of the inning.
He had the right idea. Unfortunately, got under it just a little bit, but that's he got fastball right in this. That was center square of the tic-tac-toe circle. He just got under it a little bit and sent it more up than out.
I think Blake's going to be frustrated, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Just missed it. And so now we'll see Will Moeffler. Enters in the 7th for Iowa.
Will be your new DH. Nice to get him in there.
It's good to be in a position where you can shuffle around and make some substitutions when you get to the late game. Moeffler's a right-handed hitter. First pitch to him is outside for a ball.
Well, and you heard Coach Heller talk about that with you in the pregame interview. That it was important not to have this be a 3-1 game going into the 7th and then add 8. Get ahead so that he could make some of these substitutions. You can use some of the pitchers and kind of mess around a little bit.
1-0 is drilled into right center, into the gap. The right fielder is there. He's got it for out number 2. No tag for any of the Iowa base runners. Seegers was at second. You surprised he didn't tag up there?
A little surprised that Seegers didn't track back a little bit quicker, but that ball hung up in the air a long time. At first I thought it was pretty easy in the gap, and then it just stayed up in the air and cut back a little bit to the right fielder.
Raider Tello tries to keep the inning going for Iowa. Bottom 7, Hawks lead 9-1. A couple of runners out there to drive in. Hawks trying to get to double digits. First pitch to Tello, line drive, and base hit into center. Seegers this time sprinting, and he'll stop at third. The ball is cut off at the pitcher's mound. Bases are loaded now for Coy Sarsfield. Looks like we'll have a pitching change for Grandview. But, wow, Seegers pumped on the brakes. It's a good job, I think, by Heinen to get that ball in quickly.
Right. That, and maybe it's the 9-1, and it's late. Just let's go station to station here. No real need to try to run it up, risk a play at the plate, any type of collision, anything strange there.
Well, we'll see a new pitcher for Grandview coming up in just a minute. The bases are loaded for Coy Sarsfield. We'll see if he can unload them right after this pitching change break. We're back after this. Iowa leading 9-1. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oaknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Bottom of the 7th inning, John Evans and John Leo in the broadcast booth at Dwayne Banks Field. The Hawks leading Grandview right now 9-1, but the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Coy Sarsfield will be the batter, and he'll take on the new pitcher for Grandview, Devin Doyle, tall righty.
Devin Doyle, 6.75 ERA, making his 5th appearance on the season. Does have a save, 5 1/3 innings. 8 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. A couple walks, 4 strikeouts. As Coy will see if he can turn one around on Devin.
Throws quite a few strikes in and around the zone. First pitch of the at-bat to Sarsfield. That's a breaking ball high, ball 1.
Boy, that's one as a hitter that's just kind of floating up there. You really want to, and it's a terrible idea.
It's a really bad idea.
You just sky it.
Uppercut
it for an out.
Doyle's missed a couple of times now. The first one was high. The second one was low.
I noticed in warm-ups he really puts a lot of effort into that fastball, and doesn't quite have the command on it that he probably wants to have.
Out of the windup, the 2-0.
Good pitch there.
Yeah, it laid off, and it's 2-1 on the outside corner. Coy got his hip started, his hand started, but hit the red light. 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs, bases loaded.
The funny thing was, that was 85 miles an hour. The one he tried so hard before was 83.
That one again at 85, but out of the zone. Ball 3. No place to put him. Gable Mitchell is on deck for Iowa. Bottom 7. Hawkeyes on top 9-1. Out of the windup, the 3-1 pitch on the ground to shortstop. It's bobbled there for a minute. There's going to be no play. And Sarsfield, he's on first on the error by the shortstop. Grandview could have been out of the inning.
Should have been done as pitcher comes in, does his job, gets the ball right to the shortstop. Shortstop's got a couple options, easy flip to second or throw it across, but instead Paul got kind of in on him a little bit, took a hop, and now Gable Mitchell will have a chance with the bases loaded.
So Seegers scores, and it's 10-1. First pitch to Gable Mitchell, outside corner, strike 1.
69-mile-an-hour breaking ball, very nice.
Mitchell grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. The 0-1, slapped foul to the screen, 0-2. John.
It's 10-1.
It's 10-1. No balls, 2 strikes. Out of the windup, pitch to Mitchell. Just outside, ball 1.
Good take there from Gable, and I mean the way with his glove, his opportunity to kind of fight Honar for a spot here is with his, by showing that he's capable hitter and at least spelling and getting a little bit more time.
Just because I think it's safe to say defensively, maybe even say that Mitchell has the edge there, but the bat. So far, Honar's got the experience and the pop. 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded pitch. That's high and outside.
Yeah, I think your plus for Honar with the bat is bigger than your plus for Gable with the glove right now. And so it'll be kind of up to Gable to try to close that gap and get in a little bit more time that way.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. They're going to say foul ball and foul tip into the catcher's glove. How did he catch that? Are we sure he caught that? Hold on a minute.
I think Coach Heller's asking that question as well.
Mitchell got a piece of it, but I guess the catcher grabbed it. And so Mitchell is out on strikes. The Hawks will leave them loaded. Iowa leading 10-1 as we head to the 8th. You're listening to Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
Top of the 8th inning from Duane Banks Field this afternoon. Hawkeyes leading Grandview 10-1. New Iowa pitcher, Mr. Jack Young.
Jack's making his second appearance of the season. He threw an inning, gave up a couple hits and a run in his previous appearance. See if he can be a little cleaner and set the Grandview team down in order.
It'll be 9-1-2. We'll see if Grandview makes any changes to their lineup. I don't notice a ton of them. They did change their catcher. Aside from that, everything's been about the same. And Heinen will lead things off. As Jack Young wraps up his warm-up pitches.
And what you're seeing is what makes Iowa, a dangerous team. Whether it's midweek, whether it's kind of fighting your way through a tough weekend series, but it's that ability for a lot of different guys to come in and get outs, and that's hopefully will serve them well come Big Ten tournament and hopefully after that.
First pitch from Young is hit right back to him, but Mitchell will dive at second to try to stop it, and he knocked it down. It got by Young, just sharply hit. And it'll be an infield single, I would assume. They're not going to call that an error.
I'd
be surprised. It was a great effort by Mitchell as it got through to him. It's a single for Heinen to lead off the 8th inning. As we look at the schedule upcoming for the Hawkeyes, Western Michigan in town this weekend. Friday, we'll be here at Dwayne Banks. First pitch against the Broncos at 4:05. All right, top of the order, Carson Waddle. First pitch from Young is just outside, ball one.
And they're a team that has, the RPI that we've talked about, they're right around 100, 130, so it'll be a good matchup.
Ooh, 1-0 pitch is way inside. Not sure how that did not hit Waddle.
A really good job. That might have went through a belt loop there. That was a good move to get out of the way.
And so Young will have to find it on the 2-0 delivery. Runner at first with a short lead. The pitch from Young. There it is. Called strike. Comes in with a little two-seam action. You look at Western Michigan. Record's not great. They're 5-13. But you mentioned those RPIs in the hundreds at 130. 2-1 pitch from Young. Sliced foul. Look out over there. Gets caught by the net. 2-2. Upcoming schedule at Illinois State a week from yesterday.
Yeah, midweek road game.
Midweek road game in Normal to take on the 6-9 Illinois State Redbirds. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Top 8. Here's the pitch from Young. That's way outside. Christensen snags it, throw down to first, and not in time. And it is a full count now.
And then hello, Turtles.
Yeah, the Maryland Terrapins come to town. First conference series of the season. Maryland 12-8 on the year.
Played a really challenging schedule, though.
Right. 3-2 from Young. Grounded foul to the left side. Maryland projected to win the Big Ten. And you get them right out of the gates. How about that?
Well,
I don't know. You'd rather have them early, wouldn't you?
You know whether you get a lead in the race or whether you're chasing in the race.
3-2 again is hit foul. Long at bat for Waddle against Jack Young.
We've talked through the game, the top of the order for Grandview particularly knows how to swing the bat. And so Jack's going to have to focus in here with the runner on and get through this top of the order without giving up any more damage.
Another 3-2. Called third strike on the outside corner, and Waddle had whipped his bat towards the on-deck circle. He thought that he was walking.
That was close. We've seen that pitch called a couple times. Might have been a little bit off the outside edge of the plate, but our home plate umpire, Shane Cannon, hasn't been too afraid to call that pitch and has been pretty consistent in ringing guys up with it.
1 down in the Viking 8th. First pitch to Armstrong is outside for a ball. Runner still at first with 1 away.
Young went right back to it, just a little bit more outside. Didn't get the call that time.
Here's a ground ball to second. Mitchell's got it. Flip to short for one. Spinning throw to first. Got him. Double play. 4-6-3 with a little sweetness from Seegers.
Little spinorama. That was pretty good.
Nice play on the middle infield for the Hawkeyes to get out of the 8th. Iowa leading 10-1. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs, but what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately, then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Bottom of the 8th inning from Dwayne Banks this afternoon. Iowa leading 10-1. New pitcher in for Grandview is Connor Canny. He's been playing in the outfield today.
He's been the right fielder.
Yeah, and so he'll come in to pitch now.
He'll make his second pitching appearance of the season. He's through an inning, gave up a couple hits, a walk, and a couple strikeouts, along with one run in his other appearance on the mound for Grandview. We'll see how he does,
Utility,
this time. Yeah.
Garrett Christensen will get the first look at him. Left-handed hitter. Christensen came in a couple innings ago in the catcher position. And he'll lead off the bottom of the 8th with Iowa leading 10-1.
Number 43, Garrett Christensen.
Garrett's got a couple hits in his Hawkeye career here this season.
First pitch from Canny is low, ball one.
Good breaking ball there. Just missed trying to backdoor the outside corner.
1 ball, no strikes. Pitch to Christensen. There it is on the outside corner. It's 1-1. John, the Hawks have kind of dominated this one start to finish. A little bit of a lull in the middle innings, but really been in command the whole time.
And actually, though, as we talked early in the game, the 3rd and 4th inning there, swing and a miss there for strike 2. Even in the 3rd and the 4th inning, when they put up zeros, they had 2 guys on in scoring position each of those innings. Just couldn't get that timely hit. But then as they got to the 5th and the 6th, they were really able to capitalize on those.
1-2 to Christensen is low, 2-2.
So it's a pretty full hitting performance. They've seen a variety of pitchers, and they've really sat on all of them and done a pretty nice job of getting their swings in.
Christensen hits the 2-2 back to the screen. You just look at the stat line, 12 left on. I didn't think it was that many today.
Well, and 6 of those were early, and that was right off the bat in those scoreless innings. But yeah, it feels like they've had a lot of opportunity.
Christensen has worked a full count to lead off the 8th.
And I suppose we had bases loaded last inning, so you add a couple there where you really pile up. So you only got 1 with the bases loaded.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Canny, the right-handed pitcher, out of the windup. Pitch to Christensen. Hit foul past Mitchell Bowe. The assistant coach, the first base coach's box. We'll do it again at 3-2.
Smooth little 2-step there from Mitch to get around that one.
Quick feet.
That's probably what he was known for with his prowess.
Too long ago that he was playing in the black and gold. 3-2 to Christensen is outside for a ball.
Good at-bat there from Garrick, as he got behind, fouled off a couple good pitches again, and you've seen that from a couple Hawkeye hitters that even though they're down in the count, they stick with it and have good at-bats and don't just start flailing away at everything.
I've been impressed with Iowa's plate discipline and the fact that they aren't giving themselves up so easy. Ever since, I think it was the South Alabama series, right? And maybe one of the games at Texas Tech, but just the plate discipline is there the past couple of weeks.
Hawkeye hitters have just struck out 4 times today, and I'm sure I've just jinxed Wilmer Seegers and Frazier when they come up, but really nice job of sticking in there as that ball misses just up and in a bit. Again, of extending at bats, making somebody field the ball to throw you out instead of just going back to the dugout or wild swing and missing.
Count is 2-0 to Wilmus. He takes this one high, ball 3. Canny is struggling a bit in the 8th.
They're close. I mean, it's not,
right.
We've seen some of the other pitchers that maybe were a little bit more all over the place. He's been right around the zone, just hasn't been able to quite seal the deal.
3-0 pitch, right down the middle. There's a called strike, 3-1. Runner on first is Christensen. Got a decent lead on the cut of the grass. 3-1 pitch. Wilmus takes this one. Breaking ball, and it's 3-2.
Really good breaking ball there. Kind of, after popping back on the 3-0 fastball, little cross count, showed him the curveball and showed him that he could throw it for a strike. Now Ben will have to be on his toes.
Good battle back from Canny. Full count pitch. That's low, ball 4.
You do all that work to get the count full again.
That's like you see in basketball, a team that's been losing the whole game and they mount the comeback all the way back to get it tied and then lose in the last 30 seconds.
All the energy and effort it takes to get it even and then can't quite finish it up.
Back-to-back walks to start the 8th for Iowa, and so Seegers will come up in a 10-1 game. Michael's been on it today. He's got a couple of walks, a triple and a single. He's only been retired once when he flew out to right in the 2nd. First pitch to Michael. Called strike, inner half of the plate, and it's 0-1.
Good fastball there, busted inside and upper 80s, 87 miles an hour.
Runners on first and second. Canny's ready. The pitch. Breaking ball low and in. 1-1.
Good stop there from the catchers. He had to kind of corral that. He's done a really nice job of not only keeping the ball in front of him, but in a lot of cases catching those balls cleanly, so he's got a chance to make a play on it.
Again, missing high this time. Canny's just not giving the Hawkeye hitters much to swing at right now.
I guess if he walks him, especially on this pitch, I think we're going to see a mound visit at the very least.
Yeah. 2 balls and a strike to Seegers. That's inside, but called a strike.
Ooh.
It caught the corner. It's 2-2.
Friendly strike zone on the up and in pitch. Caught the top corner of the zone.
And that's in on the hands, too. That's a really tough pitch to get around on. He threw it at 86, so Michael would have had to be predicting that. The 2-2, too far inside this time, and it's full.
Well, considering the pitch that I thought he was going to walk him on was the 2-1 pitch, that would have drawn a mound visit if he walked him because he would have had to ask the umpire some questions.
And the 3-2 is inside for a ball. And so Seegers, he walks. 3 walks to start the 8th has loaded him up for Braden Frazier. I don't see a movement out of the dugout yet for Grandview, so they're going to let Canny go. Nope, they're not. Here comes a mound visit. I think this is just a mound visit, though. Doesn't look like a call to the bullpen.
Agreed. When corn grows fuel, Iowans win. Ethanol is a renewable fuel that's better for our environment, our health, and our wallets. Share your winning moments using #IowansWin, and you could win even more from Iowa corn.
Just some of the statistics for Iowa today. They're hitting .364 as a team. They've drawn 11 walks. Only struck out 4 times. Iowa with 8 extra base hits this afternoon.
That's probably the impressive number to me is, especially if a pitcher's spraying it around a little bit, it's harder to stay locked in, stay focused, and Hawkeye hitters have not only done that and been able to put the ball in play, but to drive it to gaps and hustle after it.
This feels like the first game that Iowa's hit this many extra base hits. Obviously, 8 is a lot of hits in general in a baseball game, but a majority of them being those extra base hits, which is something that, what was it, a couple of games ago where you had just single after single. We couldn't find a gap anywhere.
Yeah, we're station to station right at somebody.
Braden Frazier's the batter. Bases loaded, nobody out. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1.
Ooh, upper part of the zone again.
Well, if Braden knows that that's a strike, he'll swing at it next time, and that could be in his wheelhouse. Nothing in one pitch from Canny. Fouled back to the screen. Good cut there by Frazier. It's 0-2.
Nice job by Canny popping back here. He's throwing a couple of good fastball strikes. See if he tries to locate the breaking ball or if he just feels like he's found something that's working, so just keep after it.
The 0-2. That's low and in, ball 1. It's kind of a wonder what those mound visits do, right? Because Canny wasn't even close, frankly.
Well, and sometimes that's all it is, hey, don't overcomplicate this. Just pitch it.
Yep. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch to Frazier. That's high, ball 2.
That's what you almost hated to see, that 2-0 or the 0-2 breaking ball, because he did kind of break that rhythm of being able to find strikes, and he's got to bear back down here and see if what Frazier will do with it.
2-2's popped up. This one looks like it'll get out of play over our heads.
I think we just had the Grandview coach check to the bullpen. The bullpen is ready. So
and yeah, he totally quit throwing out there, and he's standing at the gate down the left field line. So if Canny can't get out of this, looks like a call to the pen is in order. The 2-2 just high, ball 3. Whew, that was close.
Really good breaking ball there, and he's gotten that call a little bit here as we've gotten later in the game. The strike zone's maybe ballooned up just a touch.
Out of the windup, the 3-2. Ooh, just barely high. Ball 4. And a walk in, a run. Score's now 11-1. Iowa with the lead. We'll have time called. It'll be a pitching change for Grandview here in the 8th. Now you just kind of feel bad for Canny. He came in and walked 4 guys, including walking in a run.
And he did a much better job in that at-bat. He was around the plate. A couple of those pitches that were called balls were close. They were balls, but they were closer. Iowa's just really shown some good plate discipline today. We've talked about that a number of times, that they've been able to pick their spots and really know what the strike zone looks like.
We'll keep it here for this one. New pitcher in for Grandview. We'll get the beat on him in just a second. Wrapping up this midweek game with Grandview today. Iowa leading 11-1. The bottom of the 8th, the bases will still be loaded for Blake Guerin. He'll get another opportunity to hit in this game. I think he probably thought his last at-bat came in the 7th when he flied out to left. But he'll get another crack at it, and the stakes are a bit higher with the bases being loaded. He can drive in some runs. New pitcher for Grandview.
Jacob Ryan will be making his 4th appearance for Grandview. He's thrown 3 innings, given up a couple hits, a run. It was earned, walked 1, struck out 2. Opponents hitting just 167 against him. And my guess is Coach told him the most important thing he can do right now is throw strikes.
Yep, I was just going to take it there. If in this situation, with the bases already being loaded, strikes have got to be thrown. You can't worry about if they're going to hit you or not, right? I mean, make them earn it. Yeah. Excited to see what Blake's got in the box this time, because he was frustrated because he just missed that one back in the 7th.
Put a good move on it, just got under it a touch, and elevated it up rather than out. We'll see if he can improve on trajectory here a little bit.
Iowa leading by 10 in the bottom of the 8th. And we're getting ready now. Ryan's got the sign. He operates out of the stretch on the first pitch to Guerin. Breaking ball that bounces on the plate. Ball 1.
So much for that theory.
Well, the early testing of that theory is a first pitch ball. Need a bigger sample size. 1-0 pitch. Same spot, 2-0.
The first one was certainly a breaking ball. I'm not sure if that one was a little bit more of a, tried to throw a changeup or what is a little breaking ball action on that one too.
2-0, swung on and missed. 2-1. Blake Guerin was peeking in the windows at Carver over there on that one. He pulled his head quite a bit.
Well, he's going to have to
send it there.
He's going to have to time him up. It looks like the fastball is kind of in the low 80s, maybe even upper 70s. So he's going to have to kind of cue in here.
Low again, 3-1. Not quite golf season, right, John?
Well,
course is starting to open up a little bit.
Friday, Finkbine, let's go. I know we've got to be here, but
you gonna get a round in before?
Before we play, no. I've got this thing called a day job. It's really weird.
Oh,
I've got to show up there occasionally.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Guerin. Bases loaded, nobody out. Bottom 8, Iowa up 11-1. This is tapped down the third base line and bobbled and misplayed by the third baseman. Guerin is going to be on first. It'll bring home a run. I believe that'll be an error.
I would guess so. That was going to be a tough play across, but Blake's not necessarily known for the speedy part of his game, so I think he might have had a chance. And it looks like they posted the error on the board. So tough break there. It was always going to be a tough play, but one probably should have made.
Just charged it hard, a full sprint forward, and it hit off the bottom of the glove. Here's Will Mulfler. Bases remain loaded for Iowa in the 8th. Nobody out. First pitch to Mulfler. Inside, but called a strike. 0-1.
Will put a good move on the ball in his last at-bat. Flew out to right field.
Narrow stance in the box. We're getting our first look at him of the season. Narrow stance with slightly open positioning. Counts 1-1. Iowa did have somebody warming up in the bullpen, and with nobody out and the bases loaded, it doesn't make a lot of sense to keep throwing. You probably have some time to get loose again when you sense that the inning might end. This is popped up, right side on the infield. First baseman looks up, doesn't look like he has it. Now he's got it. Out number 1. He looked up and he put his hands out like he had lost it. He was able to track it once again in the air. 1 down now for Raider Tello.
Maybe he was trying to deke him because the infield fly was called anyway. So
good point.
Had the out anyhow, but see what Raider can do here now with just 1 out and the base is still loaded.
Raiders got a few hits today. He's 3 for 5. First pitch is low and in, ball 1. Tello with a run scored, also an RBI. 2 of his 3 hits this afternoon have been doubles. One ball, no strikes. Pitch to Tello. Popped up. Shallow center. Heinen is camped. Runners will tag. Nobody advances, though. A good throw in will keep Seegers there at third. Can't bring home any of the runs yet. Bases were loaded with nobody out. They're still loaded with 2 outs now.
I kind of wonder, we talked a little bit about Coach Heller maybe not turning the green light on. That was shallow, but I think if Iowa needed a run, especially with Seegers on third base, he sends him. But in this case, at 12-1, there isn't a whole lot good that can happen other than, again, you save Tello in that bat with a sac fly. But
Batters Coy Sarsfield. First pitch low and outside, ball 1. Yeah, good point there. It's not really worth the risk, right?
Right. The plus of making it 13-1 doesn't outweigh the risk of Seegers having something bad happen.
1-0 pitch, drilled down the left field line. This one will get foul, 1-1. Coy was on that one, wasn't he?
Just demolished it, but caught the 79-mile-an-hour fastball. It was just a little too early.
His hips were opened up into the parking lot over there by the time he made contact.
I may find that one by my car.
Yeah, we might. Counts 2-1. I'll race you for it, John.
Get Coy's autograph afterwards.
Bases loaded, 2 outs for the Hawkeyes in the 8th, leading 12-1. Pitch to Sarsfield. That's in there for a strike, and it's 2-2.
See what Coy can do here.
He's had a couple of opportunities today. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. The 2-2. It's tapped softly to third, charging hard, throwing to first. Got him by about a half a step. And the Hawks leave him loaded.
It's a good play there from the third baseman coming across, especially after the tough one that he had earlier. Got out, minimized the damage.
Couple of runs for Iowa in the inning. We'll head to the top of the 9th. 3 more outs to get. Iowa leading Grandview 12-1. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Iowa leading Grandview 12-1. 3 more outs to get this afternoon.
At the game or at home, Wimmer's premium quality hot dogs and sausages will score with family and friends. Take the highest quality beef and pork and you get the best tasting hot dog. Wimmer's, the official hot dog of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
All right, we'll see a new pitcher to try to close things down against Grandview in the 9th. Hawkeyes will go with Caleb Strock.
Good to see Caleb get out there. His first appearance to Little Falls, Minnesota. Previous school was he was at Winona State, so it'd be nice to see him make his Hawkeye debut here.
Yeah, 6'3", 195. He's a lefty. And excited for his debut in the Hawkeye black and gold. It'll be the middle of the order. It'll be 3-4-5 for Grandview.
Second baseman, Corey Pregame.
Pregame leads things off, lefty versus lefty in the 9th.
High strikeout, low walk guy at Winona State, so you kind of hope that that's what he carries over here.
Out of the stretch, the first pitch is high at the eyes, ball 1. Again, out of the zone high on the 1-0 pitch. So he's missed a couple times to start. He's got a quick upward movement with his front leg that he brings up high to his waist. 2-0 pitch. Call and strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
Because, of course, he's going to miss high after I talk about how good his command and control is.
Just finding it. 2 balls, 1 strike. This pitch is low. Ball 3. Pregame today is 1 for 3 with a strikeout. He does have a double. Count is full now as Strock hits the outside corner.
You've really seen a lot of, again, versatility from the Hawkeye pitching staff. Left, right, could come in handy down the road.
3-2, swing and a miss. Got him. First strikeout as a Hawkeye for Caleb Strock.
Good battle back there. Didn't give in. Got done, and that's the 7th strikeout for Hawkeye pitchers to go to just 4 walks.
Feel like those numbers are both pretty low for Iowa's pitching staff. They relied on the defense quite a bit today.
And, rolled a double play, had some opportunities, and did a really good job overall.
Next batter is Merritt McCardle. He's pinch hitting in the 9th. Iowa leading 12-1. Strock starts him with a first pitch ball. Second pitch is on its way home. That's in there for a strike. Broke it over the inside corner of the plate. It's 1-1.
Iowa hitting just .250 with runners on base, but Grandview so far 0 for 11 when they've had runners on base. So Iowa's done a good job there.
2 balls and a strike to McCardle. Out of the stretch, the pitch. Same spot that he hit him with on the strike earlier. Called a strike again. 2-2.
See Caleb in action here. See if he can finish off this at-bat the same way.
And he does. Inside corner, strike 3 called. He got him 3 times in a row with that pitch. 3 strikes right there.
Good high breaking ball right into the upper inside portion of the plate. Strike zone. Well, another pinch hitter with Grandview down to their last out.
Yeah, this will be...
Coach Heller's got another guy he wants in, though.
Yeah, Coach Heller comes on out of the dugout. We'll see who comes in. They're going to be Jacob Henderson to get the last out of the game. Iowa leading 12-1. Good job in the debut for Caleb Strock. He gets a couple of strikeouts. And Jacob Henderson will come in.
Most of the time you hand over the baseball to the reliever that comes in to spell you. He's got to hand over the wristband with the codes for the pitch count.
Technology, right, John? That might not be a digital thing, but that's still an advancement of some sort over the past few years in baseball.
Well, Iowa has, Coach McGrath calls the pitches from the dugout, so.
And I believe we've got the radio type of deal from into our catcher.
And I think he spits out a number, and so then when he spits out a number, then that's when they look at the wristband to see what the number is. I don't know if they're worried about reading lips or having their transmission intercepted or what exactly, why you code it after that, but they take that extra step there and just to make sure.
All right, so Jacob Henderson, he'll get the last out for Iowa unless we go to the bullpen again. If somebody were to get on, there's 2 outs in the inning. In the meantime, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball.
Talk to Coach McGrath before the game, and he was talking about Ty Langenberg and the adjustment he made. You also saw an adjustment from Jacob Henderson on Sunday. He came in kind of a hot spot. Second game of the doubleheader on Sunday when Luke Llewellyn got in trouble a little bit in the second inning, and Jacob had to come in and get an out, and just a minor adjustment that he made. Coach McGrath saw something, and Casey Day, who's been a student assistant this year, saw something in the delivery. And you see Jacob get really good command. Always had a great breaking ball, spins it really well, but was just having a little bit of a challenge locating early in the year. Made just a small adjustment. Jacob took to it, really saw different velocity.
Well, in the first couple of pitches in the at-bat, he's got Zach Voles pretty fooled. It's 0-2. With 2 outs in the ninth, Iowa leading 12-1. The last chance for the Grandview Vikings. Henderson will look in for the sign. He's got it from Christensen. And the 0-2 pitch. Outside corner, got him. Strike 3 called, and that'll do it. Hawks win. Hawks win 12-1 and improve to 16-3 on the season. What a start for Iowa.
Outstanding job, and really everybody, top to bottom, pitching staff, everybody did their job, came in and did it quickly and efficiently today. Hawks get a good win.
All right, we'll get into postgame right after this. Iowa wins 12-1. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Mid-American Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at midamericanenergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Hawks win this one 12-1. Thanks for tuning into Iowa Hawkeye Baseball today. It was a pleasure. This is much of a pleasure to watch this Iowa team get to 16-3. John, a final thought on this one?
Again, just a total team effort, and you know, it's not easy to come in for that one inning and do a job when maybe you haven't thrown in a week, or in some cases some of these guys haven't thrown in 2 weeks. But everybody was on point, focused again today. You kind of hope it kind of keeps turning that corner and everybody just gets a little bit sharper and sharper.
Highlights today, John. I think the pitching was pretty darn good for the Hawks.
Pitching was pretty darn good. And again, overall, just to me, it was the focus. You know, a lot of extra base hits, and some of those were extra base hits of opportunity. You know, gappers that you know, if you're lazy or jogging out of the box, it's just a single. But everybody was locked in. They could see it in front, and they went and got it and took advantage of opportunities and put runs on the board and got a lot of different guys in the game.
We're in the process of doing something that team maybe didn't do last year, and that's really taking care of business on the midweek games.
You know, there were some, I think only lost one last year, but, some of them were maybe bigger struggles than you wanted them to be. And again, part of that comes down to that pitching. You know, you're trying to throw 9 guys, and if one guy has an off day, then, you've got to score runs to stay ahead of that. And really saw today where just everybody's kind of throwing darts, and really eases the stress on the bats too, and then the bats can ease the pressure on the pitching arms too by getting out, getting that lead, and then continuing to add to it.
Iowa beats Grandview tonight 12-1. We'll be back with more post-game coverage right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
I will be It's Grandview today, 12-1. The Hawkeyes had 12 runs on 12 hits, committed 1 error in the field. Grandview with 1 run, 4 hits, committed 2 errors in the field. The Hawkeyes started with Keaton Anthony on the mound. He threw 2 innings, didn't give up a hit. He walked 1, struck out 1. Everybody else after that basically threw 1 inning each. Nick Gattilla, Jack Whitlock, Cade Obermuller, Aaron Savory, Chaz Wheatley, Drew Proskovic, Jack Young, Caleb Strock, and Jacob Henderson all got in on the mound today. We're joined by Associate Head Coach Marty Sutherland. Coach, a thought on the 12-1 winner today?
Well, you got everything out of it you wanted to, honestly. It went away where we could get a lot of guys in there and got, Caleb gets his first time out there as a Hawkeye, did a great job. You get a bunch of hitters in. Will gets back into it after being out for a long time. So that was the biggest thing for me, is just a lot of different guys getting in there. A lot of guys did a great job, especially on the mound, but I thought we did a tremendous job.
We talked about it just a moment ago, kind of taking care of business in all these midweek games, not stumbling at all.
No, I mean, the one thing about this team so far is they've been really focused, and really every day has been a good day, as far as energy and coming ready to play, which sometimes in these types of games you worry just a little bit about them taking them lightly and all these types of things, but they've just been really businesslike, and that's a great sign for the rest of the year, because ultimately it shouldn't matter. The front of the jersey never matters. You go play the game. And every opportunity you get to do that should be something you're ready for and antsy for. So far so good in that setting. But, tonight just really a lot of good things. I think we walked saying to Rick on the way up here, I think we walked the leadoff hitter 2 out of the first 3 innings. And then, from then on out, a lot of guys who hadn't been haven't been out there that much, Chaz and Caleb and Jack Young and all these guys that just pounded the strike zone. And I think we end up with 4 walks, only 6 free bases. I mean, that's what needs to happen middle of the week, and you're especially proud for those guys who don't get out there a lot, haven't been out there in many settings against a different team. It's been inter-squad type stuff, and that's just not the same. So they handled themselves really well, and just really happy for a lot of those guys getting out there.
Coach Heller really challenged the guys on Friday down in Missouri after the win over South Dakota State. You think that message got home with the team?
Well, they know. I mean, we have a lot of older guys, especially on the position player side. If you continue to give 9, 10-plus free bases, you're just living on the edge. And sooner or later, that it's just not sustainable. So sooner or later, it's going to hurt you. And we've calmed that down a little bit overall against South Dakota State. I think we were in that, 6, 7 range. And that's livable. We can do that. That's not a lot of extra bases for the other team. You're going to force them to beat you. And, we were able to take advantage of some free bases on their end. Obviously, they put us on base quite a bit via the walk. But, that's the name of the game. And when you're playing, you're getting down to the end and everybody's scrapping and clawing, and you're playing the best type of competition, it's about that. It's who makes the most mistakes, who gives up the most free things to the other team, and when, basically that's going to be the winner or loser. The team who does that the most is probably going to be on the losing end. So we just need to calm that down. We do that, where we're at on the mound defensively and what we're doing offensively. I certainly like our chances when we limit those.
I know they gave us a lot of free bases today, but we had a lot of extra base hits, Coach. You got to be pleased with the offensive performance and the swings you had.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially the first 8 hits, I think 7 of them were extra bases. So that part was great. You look at the 15 left on base, that's a little gaudy. That's not a number you like to see. But a lot of new guys in there, and just, got to have some better at-bats with runners in scoring position and come through and kind of throw the knockout blow. That's probably the biggest thing with the extra bases. We didn't do it when we had them loaded or had multiple guys on base. They were kind of one guy on base, but still on a night that the ball, especially early wasn't carrying, I thought guys did a really good job, putting balls in some gaps and hitting balls hard, which was great. But like I said, as the offensive guy, and I look at that 15 left on base, that's not great. But again, a lot of traffic, which is good. I thought we stayed disciplined, which was good late in those games. I tell these guys all the time, and most of them still know who he is. It dates myself a little bit, but Pete Rose always talked about why it was so hard to hit 400, why you don't see that at the big league level so much. And at the time, he basically said you give away at bats when you're either up a bunch or down a bunch. You don't have the focus that you do in a normal game. And I thought we didn't give away bats. We didn't chase out of the zone late. And that's what I really like to see. You're just kind of sticking to your guns, which was good. Certainly would have liked to come through a bit more there with some hits and not leave as many on base, but just really good at bats of sticking to them, forcing them in the strike zone, which is what you want to see.
Coach, just a final thought on that topic. The plate discipline, we've noticed it the past couple of weeks, with maybe the exception of one of the Texas Tech games. It feels like it's vastly improved.
Yeah, it's certainly been something we've been talking a lot about early. I thought, it was kind of a double-edged sword early. We just faced teams that really threw a lot of strikes, and I dug into it, and our swing rates were higher than I wanted it to be. But then when I looked at the strike percentage against us, it was way higher than what other teams were seeing. I mean, just for an example, teams were throwing 70% of the fastballs for strikes. I looked at other teams in the Big Ten; it's 56%, it's 60%. So it was kind of like this double-edged sword where we just ran into some teams that really flooded the strike zone, which means we swung more and all that type of stuff. And we've just really ratcheted down that. The guys have done a great job, when we've had the opportunities to train. And certainly it's been something that we've talked a lot about, of just stick and get them on the plate. When you make contact outside of the strike zone, you don't do any damage. You're not gonna hit very well. And the guys have just really latched onto it. So it's got to continue. I mean, that'll give you a chance to be a dynamic offense. And if you do that, you force pitchers to get on the plate. You're gonna hit some extra base hits. You're gonna score runs, which is certainly the goal. I mean, just how many times can we touch home plate? Yeah. That's really all we're talking about.
All right. Well, we did it 12 times today. Win it 12-1. Coach, thanks for your time. We'll see you this weekend for Western Michigan. All right, Associate Head Coach Marty Sutherland, our post-game show from Duane Banks. We'll take our final break. We'll come back with highlights, and we'll wrap things up. Iowa wins it 12-1. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At U.S. Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join U.S. Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Iowa takes down Grandview today, 12-1 in the midweek game. We'll get set for a 3-game set with Western Michigan at home this weekend. First pitch on Friday is at 4:05 against the Broncos. Let's go over some of the highlights from today's game. The 12-1 winner over Grandview got things started defensively in the 4th inning. A nice 6-4-3 double play. Brock Reinhardt is the batter. This is on a one-hop to Seegers at short, to Honar for 1, on to first for 2. Got him, 6-4-3, and that'll do it for the top of the 4th. Iowa offensively really got going in the 5th inning. Peterson with a double to score a run or 2. 3-2, driven into left center. This one will get down for a base hit. DeRiggi will score. Tello racing for 3rd. He's there safely, and it's an RBI double for Sam Peterson. Hawks lead 3-0. Sam Honar would moments later add to the lead, and this is where they get the 2 RBI extra base hit from Sam Honar. First pitch to Honar. This one's in the gap in right center. Center fielder giving chase. It's over his head. Off the wall. Honar racing around second. Might try for 3. 2 runs are in. Here comes the throw. No throw to 3rd. And Honar clears the two base runners that are out there. Tello scores. Peterson scores. Hawks up 5-0 on the triple from Honar. Then in the 6th, Iowa would add to their lead Keaton Anthony with a 2 RBI double. Anthony rips this into the left center gap. It is down and to the wall. Huckstorf will jog in from second. Here comes DeRiggi. They're going to send him. The throw home is not in time. DeRiggi beat it. Raider Tello, he wanted in on the fun, and he had an RBI of his own. That would have been news to me. There's a base hit to right field for Raider Tello. Anthony rounds third. He'll score. Here comes the throw into second. Tello beat it out. Hawks were explosive offensively today. Iowa wins it 12-1. We'll talk to you on Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock first pitch with Western Michigan. Thank you for tuning in to Iowa Hawkeye baseball this afternoon. Iowa wins it 12-1, improving now to 16-3 on the season. For my great board op, Ray, thank you, Ray. Great job today. Really appreciate it. My broadcast partner, John Evans. I'm John Leo saying so long from Dwayne Banks Field. Iowa wins it 12-1. Every day's a great day to be a Hawkeye. Some are just a little bit better than others. So long, everybody.
Hawkeye Baseball has been brought to you by Homewood and Home 2 Suites, preferred hotel of the Hawkeye Radio Network, Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association, and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Oak Knoll, an active life care community. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.